This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And the weekend series continues from downtown St. Louis. Game number 2, it's the Cincinnati Reds and the St. Louis Cardinals. And welcome to the broadcast booth here at Busch. Alexa Dat is with us. That's Brad Thompson. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Such a thrilling game last night for so many reasons. Now we turn the page. We look ahead to Game 2. And on the bump for St. Louis, it's Miles Mikolas.
Miles Mikolas has been a constant this year for the St. Louis Cardinals. This guy takes the ball. Your New Balance fearless approach. It's Miles the way that he's been going at it. The last 7 starts just attacking, getting deep into ball games. Look at that ERA just north of 2. And there's no traffic, Dan. He's throwing tons of strike, going right after the opposition.
Well, Brad, we know the All-Star game is coming up, and you look at these numbers, he's not an All-Star, but you can make a case that he should be.
Well, I'll tell you this, every single pitcher ahead of him in ERA and WHIP, the top 5, they're all All-Stars. I mean, this guy is putting it together again this year. He might not have the All-Star moniker, but he's pitched like one.
Miles Mikolas on the mound for St. Louis, and last night, the young guys coming through. Nolan Gorman, Brendan Donovan. The studio takes a closer look at that. That's next on Bally Sports.
On the Reds this afternoon in Game 2 of the 3-game set before we break for the All-Star break. Back in our Ballpark Village studios, Matt Hungarian, Al Roboski, and Scott Warman with you. And we see Brendan Donovan there. He and the rookies have made such an impact. In fact, Ali Marmol was mentioning that with the media after last night's game. Cardinals wouldn't be above 500, Al, if it wasn't for these rookies, including last night's win.
Definitely. Yeah. Primarily it's Donovan, Gorman, and Yepes doing it offensively. The Cardinals had 11 guys make their major league debut this year. And you're right. These kids have all contributed. They've added a lot of energy to the ballpark. And I think the veterans have kind of fed off them. So it's really great to see the way they have played.
And oh, by the way, Andre Palante's a rookie too. I think we kind of forget about that.
Well, he's a pitcher, you know, so we're letting him hit. But these guys are doing the job, and you can see 54 extra base hits, 82 RBIs by the rookies, you know, 5th most in the major leagues. And a lot of them are here because of injury, and they have done a great job filling in.
Well, 21 years ago, this guy was a rookie. He's pretty good, actually Rookie of the Year. And when we come back, as we get you ready for the first pitch, a wild one in the Bay Area late last night. We'll show you when we come back. Gets up solo homers to Joey Bart and Darren Ruff. 5-4, right? Everything's okay? Nope. He would eventually load the bases, and yes, Mike Yastrzemski hits the grand slam walk-off home run. Giants over the Brewers last night by a final of 8-5. As we continue to get you ready for the first pitch between the Cards and the Reds, Dylan Carlson has been sensational recently. Dan and Brad will talk more about him when we come back.
Busch Stadium right before the All-Star break. And Dylan Carlson once again in center. Brad, he's really done a nice job filling in for Bader in center field.
He certainly has. You know what Harrison Bader means to this club in many different aspects. Well, Dylan Carlson has picked it up offensively, hitting nearly 300. He's driving the baseball. He's doing everything that you want. By the way, against lefties, he is crushing them. 367 against lefties. Got one of those on the mound today. And defensively, Dan, well, he goes and gets it out there.
He certainly does. The sliding catches. How about going back on the ball? And we know he's got a very good arm as well. That may be the defensive player of the year. That saved a game in Atlanta. And the Cardinals came back and won that game in extra innings. Nice work by Dylan Carlson. A series win for St. Louis. The Cardinals are hopeful. And it's Game 2 next. Brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. Beautiful day for baseball. We're at Busch Stadium in St. Louis on a Saturday. It is a hot day. Look at that. It's down on the field. Brad, I think that's over 120.
I think they ran out of numbers.
Yeah.
That's fine. Don't look at that. They should probably put that away. Either way, it's a good day to win a ball game.
So 98, but feels like 105. Alexa Dat, Brad Thompson, Dan McLaughlin with you. And Miles Michaelis getting the start today for St. Louis.
Miles Michaelis has been so good this season. He has been a constant for the St. Louis Cardinals coming into this one, making his 19th start of the year. And he's put up all-star numbers just outside of the all-star mix. But you look at top 6 in ERA, top 6 in WHIP. The 5 guys ahead of him all headed to the all-star game. It's been a very nice year for Miles Michaelis.
So Miles on the mound here today, and let's take a look at his Hyundai pitch arsenal.
You know what he's going to do. He uses that slider a lot, sinker and four-seam, curveball every once in a while. The changeup, the thing about Miles Michaelis is he uses that entire arsenal, and he uses it in different ways and in different counts. It's been fun to watch him work.
Well, the Cincinnati Reds, they come in for David Bell, 34 and 56. They're 15 and a half out. And on the road, 16 and 28. India at the top, then Drury and Farmer, Votto, Stevenson, Solano, Naquin, Senzel, and Stewart Fairchild. And for the Cardinals, they're 2 games out. Josh Hader blew the game last night late against the Giants. So the Cardinals, by virtue of the Brewers' loss and their win, are just 2 games out.
Hader gave up 6, 3 home runs, capped off by a Yastrzemski grand slam in that one. And look, that's a tough one to come back from. And the Cardinals, they got a little momentum. Get it rolling a little bit. 2 games left. Can't think about the All-Star break yet. Got some work to do for Ollie Marmor's club.
Jonathan India scored and had a base hit early last night as the Reds grabbed an early lead. The Cardinals came back and they held on. It was nearly a grand slam hit by the Reds at the end of the game last night.
I really thought that Dylan was going to run out of some room in center field. He didn't, though, and we got to go home happy.
It's the Rookie of the Year, 8th Red to win that award. And the last to do it, Scott Williamson in 1999. I said that to you last night, and you were like, Scott Williamson, huh? He won the Rookie of the Year, and he did back in 1999. Let's see if Miles can be efficient here today on a hot afternoon. And there's a strike called by Mark Wegner. He's also our crew chief, the home plate umpire. Quinn Wolcott down at first. Alex Tossi at second. Alan Porter is at third. 0-2. You find that when you have these hot days, Brad, and a pitcher always, generally speaking, wants to be efficient, but is he going to be pumping more strikes as much as he can tonight to get off the field?
Yeah, the thing with Miles, that's always the case with him. But to your point, yes. I mean, you're going to want to try to get outs as quickly as you possibly can.
And Miles is a guy that sweats a bunch. Talking with Ollie the other day about that. And that's why in that doubleheader with the Pirates, they put him in game 2. They thought, well, it might be a little bit cooler. And he went out and nearly tossed a no-hitter. 1 out away from doing that. I want to thank the men and women of our crew for the tremendous effort that they put into our telecast last night. There's so much that goes into it as India pops it up and Kisner gives it a look and it's out of play. But there's so much that goes into making that a special night for the families, the troops, and for you at home. So to our crew, men and women in our truck, and the camera men and women, you guys are the absolute best, and thank you for your efforts. It was a very special night.
It was a lot of fun last night.
It's wonderful. Shift on the left side, and the 1-2 pitch to Jonathan India. That's off the plate. Michaelis has seemed to work well with Andrew Kisner. Those two work very well together.
Yeah, they have. They've been on the same page. A lot of this success has been with Kisner behind the plate.
2-2 in the air out to deep left. O'Neill looks up, 1-0. Home run India, his 4th. It's a leadoff shot, and the Reds grab an early lead. 7th career leadoff homer for India, and the 2nd time that he's done that this season.
Well, Miles Michaelis here got ahead of him quickly, ended up letting him back into the count. This was just a slider that was elevated. He got under this thing. It was just spinning up there, and Jonathan India, he did not miss this. He's looking for it down and away, just rolls in there up. Ball gets out in a hurry. We saw this yesterday in the ball game, though, Dan. The Cardinals got down 2 runs in the first. They ended up punching right back into it.
Good looking player right there in Jonathan India. And it's Brandon Drury, and that's off the plate. And ball 1.
India was just an on-base machine last year, and the overall numbers for the season were good, but he was even better against the Cardinals.
And remember, India wasn't even in the initial plans for the Reds, but forced his way onto their roster after a very good spring training. Still with some injuries here in 2022. And a good start for David Bell and the Reds. A shift for Drury, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Tapped foul. It was the 7th pitch of the at-bat with India, and he homers on a 2-2 pitch. And the 1-2 off the plate, and it evens it up at 2-2. Over 41,000 here last night, and another nice crowd despite the heat here today. It was the 13th home run allowed by Michaelis. Find the shade if you can. Fan off one way or another, but it is hot for the fans in the seats today.
Doesn't matter how hot it is, though. You're at a baseball game.
There you go. And the 2-2, and a grounder hit sharply to third. Brendan Donovan. If you missed the news, Nolan Arenado has opted out of the All-Star game dealing with a sore back. And remember, he had a couple of plays, back-to-back games, foul territory, and sliding, diving attempts. One was up against the dugout of the Reds, so very tough on him, and unfortunately will not play in the Midsummer Classic. Around the Horn presented by Dobbs. Donovan at third, Sosa at short, Edmund Pujols on the right side, Kisner behind the plate, O'Neill, Carlson, Nootbaar in the outfield.
Certainly a difficult decision to opt out of the All-Star game, but as he said, it's something he's been dealing with for a while, and I mean, his goal is to be right for the second half. So take as much time as you possibly can, get your body feeling good, and go on a run. Nolan was very vocal about it the other day. He wants to win this division. Forget the wild card, wants to go out and make a run, and he's a big part of what they're going to be doing and how they do it.
There's Kyle Farmer. What did you think of those comments?
Well, look, I think it's a winner. Like, that's what you want your guys to be talking about, is going out there. You realize when you look around the room, you got the pieces.
Pujols has to get back to the bag, and out. Albert thought about going after that baseball. Tommy Edman had a range to his left, and then Albert had to get back to the bag in just the nick of time.
Yeah,
to get the out.
Tommy had to go a long way, Dan, to get this. See him right up the middle. This one, Michaelis gets in on the hands of Farmer. Albert does do a good job of getting back there. Really nice play. But when it comes to Arenado, talking about wanting to win the division, he also went on and he's asked about trade deadline, adding pieces, and saying that, look, adding pieces to a team can help a club's morale. To me, it's a testament of how good this team is and how good they believe that they can be. It's a very winnable division.
Absolutely. Here's Joey Votto. He's tied up on that pitch. 4 for 21, a head-to-head against Michaelis. A couple of doubles and a home run, but just a 191 average. Shift on the right side. That's the third baseman. Donovan on the right side. Tommy Edman in shallow right. And it's 0-2.
That sequence right there. Four seam in and then slider right off of it, in off the plate.
Here's a 0-2 pitch. And he struck him out. The strikeout from Michaelis. The home run hit by India. Early 1-0 lead coming up for St. Louis. Tommy Edman, Dylan Carlson, and Goldie. It's Cardinals baseball. Second baseman for the Reds with a leadoff homer. And the second baseman today for the Cardinals leads it off for St. Louis. That's Tommy Edman, the switch hitter. Switch hitting center fielder Dylan Carlson, Paul Goldschmidt, Albert Pujols, Tyler O'Neill, Brendan Donovan, Edmundo Sosa, Lars Nootbaar, and Andrew Kisner. The starting 9 for Ali Marmol and the Cardinals here in game 2. Nick Lodolo making his 6th start. His last time out was against Tampa Bay. 5 innings, 9 hits, a career high 103 pitches. He started against the Cardinals back on April 24th, went 5 2/3, and picked up his first ever career win.
His Hyundai pitch Arsenal sinker curve changeup, and he was good against the Cardinals. That was the best outing he's had in his career.
Into 3-0 in his last 3 starts, and that pitch taken for a ball.
Lodolo made that start against the Cardinals. It was on April 24th. He ended up going on the IL the next day and spent over 2 months there with a strained lower back.
And the 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, the Cardinals, if you have a lefty and you oppose St. Louis, could be asking for trouble, because the Cardinals hit .261 as a team against left-handed pitching, 5th best in baseball, 2nd in the National League behind Colorado. And a base hit. Tommy Edman. I love Edman. I love Carlson from that side of the plate.
Yeah, both of these guys way more comfortable. It appears at the very least the numbers bear it out, swinging from the right side. Tommy here finds a hole right there. 5-6 hole and get something going. That's the thing. Again, we saw it yesterday. Cardinals gave up 2 runs in the first inning. They were able to come right back and score 2 in the bottom.
Here's Dylan Carlson. Highlighted Dylan in his play in center and what he's done offensively and defensively. And sometimes if you have an uptick defensively, it's confidence at the plate too. Just one of those things.
Yeah, it could very well be. And the thing is with Dylan Carlson, he's just a talented young player too. And you mentioned it yesterday. This is about the time that he ended up getting hot last year. And another key piece to what they're trying to do offensively. You've got Dylan Carlson heating up. You've got Tyler O'Neill back in the fold. You know what Goldie and Arenado are. Has a chance to be very dangerous.
You have a very good catcher behind the plate in Stevenson. Edman leaning towards second. And the pitch taken for his strike. Stevenson has thrown out 10 of 35 this year, right around 30%. And in his career, right around 25%. He's a good player.
He's a really good player. I remember last time when we faced the Reds, they had just lost him. He had the thumb injury, and I mean, it felt like you could just tell the way that everybody was speaking how much he meant to the club and how down they were because he was out.
And the 1-1. Good breaking ball. And it's 1-2. Goldie on deck.
That's
big gap in left center. And the 1-2 pitch to Dylan Carlson. Kept in front by Stevenson. And we'll highlight Stevenson as we go around the horn, presented by Dobbs. Solano is at third base, Farmer at short, India Votto on the right side, Fairchild in left, Senzel in center, Tyler Naquin is in right field. And the 2-2 pitch. A little bit high. Let's see the Cardinals do a little running here on 3-2. Why not? Cardinals wrapping up 30 games over a 31-day stretch, leading into a much needed break for the players.
Yeah, this All-Star break is coming at the right time.
I would agree.
Just need to recharge the batteries.
A check on Tommy Edman.
It's nice that you're starting to see guys come back healthy, and obviously Tyler O'Neill is one of the biggest parts. Expectations, we see Steven Matz back healthy. His rehab has gone well. He's going to be a big piece. You hope to get Harrison Bader back after the break.
3-2, not running, and a breaking ball and a strikeout. Late break. It's a good pitch. It's got that late action they talk about on the breaking ball, Brad, and some of these hitters give up on it watching film before the game. Watch this.
Well, you can see why you give up on it is because it starts well in the left-handed batter's box and ends up just tickling the corner of the zone. I mean, you can't set it there much better.
And as a hitter, you're not going to do much with that pitch.
No, the only thing you can do is foul that off.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, there's only so. You talk about letting the baseball get deep, drive it the other way. Look, you just try to foul that one off and hope to get to another one.
Here's Paul Goldschmidt. And the splits for Goldie. How about that? 444, 14 extra base hits, and the very high OPS against the lefties, and a lot of damage against righties too.
It certainly is. The 444 average and the OPS against lefties, those are both tops in Major League Baseball.
The 0-1. Nothing in 2. So Goldie will go into the All-Star break at the top of many categories offensively in the National League. Tremendous first half he's put together. The 0-2. Goldschmidt with a fly ball into shallow right. And Naquin with the catch. Out number 2. And the batter will be Albert Pujols. Take a guess, by the way, Brad, what the career average for Albert is. If you had a guess against Cincinnati, what do you think it is?
Against Cincinnati?
Yes. Against Cincinnati specifically.
Career batting average, I'll say 323.
340.
Oh, my.
That's with 695 at bats.
Is that good?
That's pretty good. If you had to take a guess, how many home runs?
Against Cincinnati?
That's correct.
I'll go with 43.
47. 148 runs batted in. Over 1,000 OPS. 54 doubles. Amazing.
Not if you're a Reds fan.
No. Tommy running. Throw down to second. And in there safely. Stolen base number 20 for Tommy Edman.
Well, you get the leadoff single. Next 2 guys get out. You want to get yourself in position. You see Tommy against the lefty. You're going first movement. As soon as he saw Lodolo's foot come up, he's gone. And even with the good jump, Stevenson makes this thing close.
And a quick tag as well.
A really good job of just staying on that base. We know now with replay, boy, you get a spike barely off of it, you're going to be in trouble.
Albert is 2 runs shy of Lou Gehrig. He is 6 hits shy with the Cardinals to tie Rogers Hornsby for 4th all time. And the 2-0. Cardinals brought him in to pinch hit, specifically face the lefties, and he's done that here in the first half.
He's been good against the lefties, hitting over 300, 864 OPS. By the way, in the last 5 games for Albert, he's been hot. I mean, he's been taking some of the best at-bats, hitting 316, got an OPS over 1,000 in his last 5. Guy's a pro.
2-1. 3-1.
Got to get him some at-bats too, get him tuned up for this home run derby. He's got Kyle Schwarber in the first round.
I've learned you don't bet against Albert.
No, sir. I feel like a lot of teams around the game of baseball have learned that as well.
I agree. And the 3-1 pitch inside, and that is walk number 1,361. in his marvelous career. And brings in Tyler O'Neill. Had a base hit last night, his first since returning off the IL.
He was promising too. That base hit from Tyler O'Neill was off of a slider. It was down and away. He was able to stay with it.
It's the 96th time that Albert has walked in his career against the Reds. 2 outs, 2 on. First pitch to O'Neill. Taken for a ball inside. 237 the average, 4 home runs. He's driven in 28 in limited time. Remember opening day, it seems like an eternity ago, but he had the huge opening day and you thought, okay,
here we go.
That's right. The 1-0.
Stevenson not able to corral that one, but that pitch is going to be a problem if Nick Lodolo continues to spot that breaking ball in the outer half to the righties.
How about the movement on that pitch?
Really good. He has shown that ability to be able to get inside with his fastball too.
And the 2-0. 3-0. Brendan Donovan on deck. Good to see Brendan get back and contribute last night. That was big for the Cardinals. And you look at when the Cardinals have had success. Who's it been? Tommy Edman, Brendan Donovan getting on, Arenado, Goldie bringing them in.
Yep.
The 3-0 pitch to Tyler O'Neill. And it's back-to-back walks and the base is loaded for St. Louis. Well, Donovan came up. He had runners second and third late, and the Cardinals needed some insurance, and they got it. Little flare out to left, and that would bring in 2. And the Cardinals held on for the victory.
Just such a good at-bat, too, by Brendan Donovan, who had spoiled and fouled off a couple of really tough fastballs, just making them come to him. Finally got that slider in on the hands, able to dump into left.
David Bell coming out to talk to the home plate umpire. I'm not sure what that was about. And the home plate umpire looking up to the official score and saying, okay, we have an official visit. That counts as a visit. Not that we've really seen that come into play, but it is a visit apparently.
Yeah, that was a much ado about nothing, wasn't it? All the visits. And
yeah.
I get it. I mean, you still have to keep an eye on it, but really hasn't been a factor.
No. 2 outs, bases loaded. And a pitch outside to Donovan. Inning started with a base hit by Tommy Edman. Carlson struck out looking on a 3-2 breaking ball. Goldie flied out to right. Back-to-back walks. Pujols and O'Neill. And Brendan Donovan ahead in the count. 1 ball and no strikes. And already pitch number 23 in this first inning. And the 1-0. Brendan Donovan, lefties, righties, he's going to be in the lineup when healthy. He's hitting .343 against the lefties.
Yeah, he's going to be just fine. And I'm watching the young Nick Lodolo here, who's got a ton of upside, but he's trying to be perfect and be great and do more in this spot. You get yourself into trouble when you do that instead of just being free and easy.
3-0. He can't find it right now.
No, he can't.
You seen anything in particular?
I think he's overthrowing is the way that I'm looking at it with him. I see his arm angle is that high 3/4 anyhow, but I really just think that he's trying to throw it through a wall, but he should just be free and easy and let it work. I'm going to make him prove he can throw one here.
Brennan will make him throw it till he gets to strike 2. That's 3 consecutive walks, and the game's tied. And Donovan brings in his 30th of the year after 3 last night. Now here's Derek Johnson coming out. You get 2 visits, and then you have to take the starter out. And looking at the umpire, he looked up to say as if it's a mound visit when David Bell came out.
I don't know if he was saying it was a visit between the pitcher and the catcher potentially instead. Either way,
it's not like you can come out there and argue balls and strikes. That's an automatic ejection. Interesting.
Totally unrelated, Dan, but boy, I miss umpires and managers arguing about balls and strikes.
I do too.
It was just a little added element.
I just miss the good old-fashioned argument. I think it's fun. Well, if you're Sosa, you got to take a strike, maybe two.
Oh yeah, I'm going to make sure that meeting didn't work out for him. He's been cross-firing quite a bit.
25 pitches, 8 strikes, 10 straight balls. And the base is loaded now for Sosa. And the first pitch, swinging, in strike one. I'm shocked he swung the bat.
I'm a little surprised too.
Yeah.
It was a strike.
And the 0-1 pitch. 0-2. Sosa with the bases loaded is a .250 hitter, 2 for 8, has a triple and has driven in 5. And the next to the Cardinals shortstop, the 0-2 pitch. And it hit him. It hit Sosa on an 0-2. And it's a 2-1 game.
And Mundo Sosa is really good at that.
He's amazing.
We have seen that over the years, trying to get in. Lodolo doesn't want to make a mistake over the plate. And Sosa already crowding the plate, not afraid to stay right in there and use that guard. Ooh, talk about a gift right there.
Ali Marmol and Adam Olsen out to check on Sosa. David Bell and his staff wanted to look at it, but he's leaning in a bit, but they're not going to overturn that. Bases loaded walk, bases loaded hit by pitch, and the Cardinals have a 2-1 lead, and it's a run batted in for Sosa, his 7th.
So right now, you've had that happen. You need the dagger, though. You need the big hit here.
And time called. Sosa has been hit 23 times already in his career. 23.
He's got that Roger Dorn from Major League. This guy used to pitch you tight, didn't he?
I'm telling you. He's got it down to a science. And a strike to Nootbaar, who's hitting 198, was sent down and then called right back up when Juan Yepez had to go on the IL.
Well, and Newt, when he did get sent down, he was tearing it up. 6 for his last 12. I mean, the numbers had been good. We were talking about that stroke of his. It was short, getting to the ball. Ooh.
Good pitch there, and it's 0-2.
You spot 95 away and then throw a breaking ball that starts right at him. It's protect mode now.
Well, he hit Sosa on 0-2. You
could definitely see him spiking something here, trying to be perfect.
And the 0-2 pitch off the plate, 1-2. You've got good speed down at third base. That's Tyler O'Neill. Donovan at second. And Sosa at first base. Edman has scored. Albert Pujols has scored. Cardinals have an early lead, 2-1. And a swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts in the inning, but the Cardinals get a gift. 3 walks, hit batter, and a lead of 2-1. Cardinals with a lead of 2-1, and we check in with Alexa Datt. Alexa.
Dan, and And Brad, good to see you today for the first time. Got some bad news, though, unfortunately for you, as the Cardinals announced Nolan Arenado will not play in the All-Star game. Listen, he's been dealing with some back tightness for the past month. He said he first felt it playing on the turf in Tampa with that really hard surface, and he'd tried rehabbing it. He said he re-aggravated it on that Cody Bellinger foul ball that he tried to track down when he slammed into that dugout padding. He said he's going to go home, he's got a physical therapist, and he's going to relax. The main thing for him that's the most important is to be able to be healthy and ready for the second half. He hasn't had an All-Star break for the past 6 years, so he said he'll take some time off, spend it with his family, and come back healthy. Not in the starting lineup today, as we saw, available potentially off the bench, but he does want to play tomorrow, guys.
Okay, thank you, Alexa. There's Tyler Stevenson, slowly hit to second baseman Tommy Edman. I would imagine that's got to be a little bittersweet for Nolan, going back home, having the All-Star game in California, and then not really being able to play because his responsibility is to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, but you commend that, don't you? I mean, that is probably a tough one. You want to be there. You could be amongst family and enjoying the festivities. And, I mean, he's one of the best the game has to offer, and obviously his resume shows that. But he's got a job to do. He wants to do it at its highest ability. And the guy wants to win. This guy wants to go on a deep postseason run. You appreciate that.
In his comments the other day, he said, you know, the wild card, fine, but we have a chance to win the division. I want to win the division.
He said, I've never done that.
Yep. And the 1-0 to Donovan Solano. Donovan was in the Cardinals system at one point. A lot of years, 7 minor league seasons. Cardinals organization from 05 till 11. So he's been around a long time.
He has been around a long time. How about the year two? He won a Silver Slugger a couple of years ago in 2020 with the Giants. Just a good player. Bounces around the diamond.
And that's hit out of play. Hitting .367 in his last 9 games. And the 2-2. A base hit into center. One out hit, Donovan Solano. World Baseball Classic, it is back, and qualifying rounds taking place in Panama, also in Germany. And for more information, visit worldbaseballclassic.com. Glad to see that back. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I do too. Everybody loves, you love playing for your team, but it is something different watching guys play for their countries. A real energy about it. I mean, we remember seeing Yachty and Javi Baez.
Javi Baez on the throw on a caught stealing, wasn't even looking at the ball going into the glove. He's taking his throwing hand, pointing at Yachty and smiling as it's happening.
The no look.
It's one of the great images I think about with the World Baseball Classic. I also get concerned too because Mitchell Boggs is a good example of Joe Torre, I believe, was the manager at that time, wanted Mitchell. He made that team for Team USA, coming off what was a historical season that he put together for the Cardinals, and then was really never the same. Now, I don't know if you could blame it on the World Baseball Classic. Did he rush and then things snowballed? But it just wasn't good after that appearance with Team USA.
Well, you know, teams absolutely worry about that. Your guys have routines. They do the same thing. They ramp up for a season, not generally for something beforehand. So you really do have to work hard to make sure you're getting ready even earlier. It changes the way you shape your offseason.
And you miss spring training, at least a portion of it, pretty good chunk of it if your team goes far. Here's a 1-1 to Naquin and a ground ball backhanded by Albert, and they'll get the lead man. A little tricky hop there at the end, and then had a struggle to get it out of the glove, but he gets a lead runner.
Yeah, he does. Well, look, Albert took his time, gathered himself, and made sure he knew he had time to get Solano. Didn't have to rush there.
Now Nick Senzel, he's had a couple of stints on the IL. He's a former top pick for the Reds, and they're still waiting for him, number one, to stay healthy, and then what a full season healthy looks like.
Yeah, you remember a couple of years ago, Nick Senzel was supposed to be the guy. That was all everyone was talking about, and it just hasn't come to fruition yet. You still see the skill set. He's got speed, has a good glove, he's got gap-to-gap power. A lot of things you like, just trying to harness it all.
Cardinals with a lead of 2-1 here in the top of the second. And that pitch taken for a strike. Toyota key to the game.
Well, just like Albert was, be on your toes. You got Miles Michaelis on the mound. You know he's going to be throwing a lot of strikes, and you know the defense is going to be working. I know it's a hot day out there. Everybody's trying to hydrate. Be ready, because at any given moment, that ball might be coming your way, especially in the infield.
And the 1-1 pitch to Senzel. In the air out to deep left. Going back, O'Neill with room. On the track, he makes the catch in left field. We're midway through 2, and it's 2-1. Salutes the troops, the infantry in Kuwait, the all-volunteer group. Sacrifices so much for our country, and they were up wee hours of the morning in Kuwait. They're 8 hours ahead, and some very emotional moments throughout the broadcast and great moments on the field as well. Cardinals would win the game, and we had a lot of fun.
It was overall as good of a night as you can have. I mean, I thought that everybody just enjoyed the evening. It was great to see the families get to see moms and dads and brothers, sons, daughters that are overseas. Really enjoyed that last night.
Puts a lot of things in perspective, I can tell you that.
Yeah, it does.
Great reminder. Cardinals sent 8 to the plate in the first inning as Lodolo hit a man. He also walked 3 in a row, walked in a run, hit Sosa. That brought in a run, and it's 2-1. The Reds have issued 349 walks this year, most in the National League. And it's the third straight game they've had 3 walks in an inning. And the 1-1 pitch from Nick Lodolo. Kisner's had a good homestand, finding his rhythm a little bit here at the plate, and a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes.
This Kisner 6 for his last 11. He's driven in 5. And I mean, that's been a big talking point this year, is you need to be able to get some sort of offense out of that catcher position, and Kisner's been giving you a little bit of that.
There's a 1-2. You know who needs an all-star break?
Who's that?
Bill Finley and his crew. Bill is the longtime groundskeeper and really does a terrific job keeping the field in the best shape he can through the hot summer months. But then you mix in a concert, and then you mix in the heat. And oh, by the way, a 10-game homestand, he's not getting a lot of sleep. Literally not. I mean, he's sleeping at the ballpark many nights to manicure the field. This is his baby, and he's done a heck of a job after the concert getting this as playable as it can be.
Well, it wasn't just one concert this summer. There's been multiples already. The last one was a huge one. Motley Crue, Def Leppard, people all over the field, and like you said, scorching 100+ degrees. Dan, I know that you're at this ballpark in odd hours for various things. I am as well. I'll be running around in the morning with Fred Bird. Someone's always working on the field.
Yep.
In some way, shape, or form, somebody from the crew is always out there. And this stuff, you don't just show up to the ballpark and the place looks beautiful. There's a lot of hard work that goes in.
So well done, Billy, and to your crew. 3-2. Hunter Green didn't like the mound at one point. Asked for the grounds crew to manicure it last night.
Thought they nailed it.
And then all of a sudden, the first man he saw hits a home run against him, and that was Nolan Gorman.
Happens.
It's enough to make your hair turn gray.
Okay. That's what the kids are doing.
I'm just saying.
I'm thinking about doing the same thing.
Well, that's just natural for you.
Yeah, well, mine's gray. I'm trying to go platinum now.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, maybe.
The strike on the inside corner. And that'll be strikeout number 3 for Lodolo. Chevy pitch tracks.
Pretty good one right there. That's the key. 95 on the inner half. You want to make that breaking ball the other way. Very good. That backdoor one we've seen a lot of. Well, make a batter think that he can't lean out there and go get it. And that's exactly what 95 in will do.
Here's Tommy Edman. A base hit to left, run scored, and stolen base number 20. And the first Cardinal with back-to-back 20 stolen bases in season since Edgar Renteria, 2002 and 03. And the 0-1. Base hit. Past the diving Farmer and into left, and Tommy is 2 for 2. He's starting to heat it up again.
Yes, he is. You mentioned it in his first at-bat as he singled through that same hole. How good he has been against left-handed pitching. Jumps on this curveball up in the zone, ends up missing down the middle. Just easy stroke.
Let's see if the Cardinals want to do a little running again with Tommy Edman. And Dylan Carlson struck out looking on a 3-2 curve. It was positioned perfectly on the outside corner.
Sometimes you just have to tip the cap.
That was one of them.
Yeah, he made a pitch.
And that pitch in for a strike.
We were joking a second ago about Hunter Green, yesterday's starter, won the mound fix, home run, next batter. Tell you this about Hunter Green, he's going to be one of the best pitchers in this league.
Absolutely.
He has got that kind of stuff. He's got the makeup. He's got the poise. I think he's going to need to get a third pitch, but he's going to be a good one.
And the 0-1. Tommy read it perfectly, and no chance to get Tommy Edman with his speed. That's good base running right there. How many times do we see players hesitate and then all of a sudden say, up, can't go? Tommy, zero hesitation and winds up at second base.
Yeah, the biggest key is anticipation. You got to know, you got to believe that this pitch is going to be down. It was a changeup there from Lodolo. As soon as he sees that thing hit the dirt, he is gone.
And the 1-1 upcoming here to Dylan Carlson. Goldie on deck. Off the plate. 2 balls and a strike.
Couple of changeups in a row he's shown here to Dylan Carlson. That changeup has not been highly effective for Nick Lodolo this year. Hitters coming into this game hitting .389 against that pitch, so it's one he leaves elevated quite a bit.
Out of play, and it's 2-2. Slow to return to the batter's box after dropping down to a knee. Now he's set, and the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out. And the batter will be Paul Goldschmidt, fly to shallow right first time up. Strikeout number 4 for Lodolo.
Goes 96 here, trying to go in, ends up down the middle, and have an awkward swing there really by Dylan.
Here's Goldie. 2 outs, runner at second. Way inside.
Dan, you have had far too much time to be sitting on this 299 call.
Oh, haven't I though?
Looking for 300. I know you've been working on it. You practice stuff in breaks.
No doubt. A lot of time spent at home with the kids. What do you guys think of this version? And the kids are pretty tough on me, too.
Of course they are. Well, it's only to make you better.
I think so, too. And that's the way I look at it. It's more of a teaching moment for me.
That's right. You can't surround yourself with a bunch of yes men and women, okay? Kids can't just say, Dad, you're the best all the time.
Well, they've never said that anyway.
Well, no, but honesty is the best policy. Now, some are a little too honest.
I'd say so. The 2-0. Out to deep left. It is number 300. Goldie gets number 300. The 153rd member of the 300 home run club. The 10th active player to get to 300. And he's now the 6th to get to 300 in a Cardinals uniform. He had been waiting for a long time and had to wait to make sure that wasn't caught. Why not just wait a little bit longer? It makes it a little bit sweeter.
Special moment. Milestone homer. Gets himself a pitch that's elevated. This thing's hit on the screws and just outside of the reach of Fairchild in left. I mean, that was as close as you're going to get. But it's number 300 for Goldie. Congrats.
Looked like he may have gotten a glove on it, too.
I think that hit some leather.
So home run number 300 for Paul Goldschmidt. And Albert chops one foul.
Dan, I'd say all that practice paid off.
Well, I just got a text.
From your kids?
Yeah, from my oldest. He said, Mr. Brad called that. He did.
You did great.
Well, thanks. He did the work. Albert with a base hit into right. And he's on base for the second time. Well, congratulations to Paul Goldschmidt. The other players to get number 300 wearing a Cardinal uniform. Stan the Man. Gary Gaetti did that. Our buddy Jimmy Ballgame. Albert, Troy Gloss, and now Paul Goldschmidt. 153rd member of the 300 home run club. So 2 outs and a runner at first, and that's fouled back. 10 active players now, including Goldie, Albert, Miguel Cabrera, and really it's a who's who. Nelson Cruz, Giancarlo Stanton of the Yankees, Joey Votto here today, Robinson Cano, Mike Trout, Evan Longoria, Justin Upton, and now Paul Goldschmidt. Congratulations to Goldie.
That is a good list.
You bet. It's also home run number 20 on the year, and it's the 9th 20 home run season for Goldschmidt. 2011, 14, and 20 were the only years without 20 or more home runs. And the 0-2 pitch. 1-2.
Dan, the only negative thing that can come out of this for Goldie with that swing of the bat is, like it or not, he's going to have to talk about himself after this ball game.
Oh, that's right.
Hitting number 300.
What does it mean to you?
Yeah.
Is there significance for it? And if they win, everything will be, well, we did it in a win. That was great. And if we lost, well, it doesn't matter. We lost the game. So I can already give you the quotes.
That's it. I'll take that guy as a teammate any day. He truly does. I mean, at the end of the day, when his career's over, you're going to look back at these numbers, and they're going to be astounding, and they very well could be Cooperstown-bound numbers. But on a day-to-day basis, he's looking for consistency, and he just wants to win. It's the kind of guy you want to play with, want to have on your team.
And did that hit him? It certainly did, and that's the second man that Lodolo has hit to go along with 3 walks and trailing 4-1 here in the bottom of the second. There's Brendan Donovan, who had a bases loaded walk his first time up. That got the front toe, it looked like, of O'Neill. Two runners on. The Cardinals have had traffic all day long so far. And that hits him. Got the wrist or the hand, it looked like. Now, David Bell, I'm sure, is going to come out and say, now, wait a minute, he swung at that pitch, or did it hit the bat? And it looked like it caught the wrist. That'll be the third man that he's hit today. Yep.
That definitely caught him.
Oh, yeah. Maybe the right wrist or forearm area. And Sosa will come up with the bases loaded for the second time. Was a base hit by Pujols after the home run hit by Goldie. O'Neill hit by a pitch. Donovan hit by a pitch. And they're all loaded up for Sosa. Is he swinging at the first pitch like he did last time after 3 consecutive walks?
Look, I said no last time, so I have no idea.
Well, you're the expert.
He's not swinging.
Now, do you think that they went to him after that at bat and said, now, hold on, did you think this through? Or what was your, well, you know, your process in swinging at that first pitch?
Well, I guess do need to remember that first pitch was in fact a strike. It was a fastball elevated, and that's probably what you're looking for in a spot. If it's one pitch, one spot, it's a heater up that you want to hit.
Pitch count at 61, so you're going to see plenty of the bullpen from the Reds, you would have to assume, here this afternoon. And already Jeff Hoffman is up and throwing, the right-hander. The 7th hit by pitch by Lodolo this year. Second time he has hit multiple batters in a game, and Sosa pops it foul. Well, Donovan, that's a nighttime he was hit by a pitch. That leads all rookies. The next, Sosa hits it up the middle, off Lodolo. Can he beat it out? You bet. No play. It's a base hit. And Albert Pujols, coming around to score, has tied Lou Gehrig for 11th all-time in runs scored. That's number 1,889. Next up, Derek Jeter with 1,923.
Nick Lodolo just can't get out of his own way. Couple of hit batters. This one just clips him. If that gets through clean, that's absolutely an out.
When Albert first came up, Brad, and you know this better than anybody, you were his teammate, he was a man possessed on trying to score runs. And I remember asking him, he always thought that getting to 100 or more was the key. And so when he did that, he said, hey, this is a big thing for me. I said, why is that so important as opposed to maybe the home runs, runs batted in, those kind of things? He said, when you score, you win. That's why it's important.
Well, it's nice to have the total package. And that's exactly what he's been.
There is a first for everything, and that just happened all in about 10 seconds. One, Goldie coming out for a curtain call as they just acknowledged number 300, and Albert looking into the camera and having fun. Normally he's scowling.
Albert's been having a lot of fun this year, hasn't he?
It's been great.
I'm more shocked by the curtain call. Albert's got some dance moves too. He doesn't show them off that often.
Are you kidding me? Is this is Albert?
Look at him. Look at him.
Come on.
I like that guy.
Who's that guy? And by the way, when we say that, it's not disrespect to Albert. It's just he is so intense and has been for so long. We just don't see that side.
Well, the Albert that you saw here for 11 seasons early, that guy, I think that he's found out that sweet spot where he can still, and this is something Adam Wainwright has talked about as well, still figure out how to be driven yet still enjoy moments. And I think that Albert has gotten to that point in his career.
Then Goldie with home run number 300, the acknowledgement of the highlight on the video board moments ago, and maybe goes on a tear. You have to wonder if that's been weighing on him a little bit just to get that over with. And Newbar, a swing and a miss with the bases loaded for the second time. He strikes out. That's 5 today for Lodolo, but Goldie with a career milestone number 300. Congratulations to the class act, Paul Goldschmidt. The issues this year with the win-loss record for him has been on the offense, not scoring a lot of runs. Well, Miles, you got a 5-1 lead now.
Go get him. Go get him. And the thing with Miles Michaelis, he is always in attack mode. He's always looking to get outs as quickly as possible. Well, this is a good day for it. We were talking about the heat earlier. You know, Miles out there sweating. Go get some outs. Run that sinker in there. He gets lots of ground balls with his slider as well. Fill up the zone against these guys.
And a swing and a miss. Stuart Fairchild. Brad, I think we found a guy that might look a little younger than you when you played. In Stewart.
What? Stuart Fairchild is a well-traveled man this season.
Yes, he is.
Played for the Mariners.
Yep.
Played for the Giants.
That's right.
And now play for the Reds.
You got it. Big league baseball.
Yes. Usually that adds years to you, but the 26-year-old looking spry up there.
I wonder if he's got a temper like you occasionally showed.
I've told you that's gotten a lot better.
Up here, it's a lot easier, isn't it?
It's amazing. The further you get away from it, the easier it in fact is.
Strikeout number 2.
Miles Michaelis elevates here. Gets Fairchild to swing through it.
He does that a lot, doesn't he? He gets a lot of swings and misses up.
He does. He gets a lot of his strikeouts just on his fastball in general. We talk a lot about Miles Michaelis and the off speed, but coming into today, 52 of his 88 strikeouts before were all on fastballs. I mean, he knows when to use it.
I have a question for you.
Okay. I'll make up an answer.
Now, you were a guy that, no, don't make it up.
We'll see what happens. I'll answer.
I'd say, I said temper, but you were just highly competitive.
No, I had a bit of a temper, too. That's anger issues.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Anger issues.
Yeah, they're better.
What happens on the Fredbird show when you and Fredbird are together and all of a sudden he may mess up a line or two?
Yeah, look, it's Cardinals Kids show.
Oh, that's, yeah.
And,
I like to refer to it as the Fredbird show.
I know you do. It's Cardinals Kids show.
Okay. Featuring BT and Fredbird and the U-Man.
That's correct.
Okay.
And John Hewlett does an unbelievable job. Look, there's no anger because he very rarely forgets his lines.
He doesn't speak.
He's got no lines. So he just stands around and we do that thing.
What happens if he does something you don't like? There's back-to-back Ks. You ever get on him?
That's basically the show in a nutshell.
You do a great job with that.
Stuff is fun. I enjoy it. Enjoy this, man. Enjoy watching guys like Miles Michaelis go out here and blow fastballs by people. Dan, you were just talking about it a minute ago. You got a bit of a cushion. You got a lead. Let it rip. That's what he does against Jonathan India.
So 2 outs, and Brandon Drury grounded out to third base and grounds it left side into the shift. Sosa and a 1-2-3. That's what you want after the big inning. Midway through 3, and it's 5-1. Tickets on sale now. It's always one of the more popular games that we have. And Cardinals.com/pooches. You can bring your dog to the ballpark.
Can we bring our dog up to the booth? Is that a thing?
Absolutely.
Right.
And Jeff Hoffman is into the game after 2 innings from Lodolo in the Chevy Colt to the pen. 34th appearance, pitched a couple of days ago against the Yankees. 2/3 of an inning, couple of hits, and they were home runs.
Well, Dan, you laid it out yesterday in the ball game. This bullpen for the Reds, they've had their struggles throughout the year. Certainly not the plan for Lodolo to only last 2. Big opportunity for the Cardinals to pile on in this game.
Well, if you're David Bell, you get through today, you get through tomorrow, so you can have a short outing from your starter and feel okay, because then you've got the All-Star break. If this is a different time of the season, you might see Lodolo still out there.
Sure. And the thing to remember with Lodolo is young pitcher, big time prospect. You still want to make sure you take care of him.
Popped up right side, and that will be out of play, and a fan almost came up with it. And we just get word from the Cardinal PR department that fan will go on a IL stint with a sore back.
That's going to be 10 days at least.
At least.
He's going to feel that later.
Yeah. It was a quick assessment to put him on the IL. It's going to leave a mark there, Brad. That one is going to hurt.
Yeah. Might want to flag down the beer guy. Put something on that one.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Kisner. Out of play. And out of play again. A swing and a miss, and the second time that Kisner is struck out. And while we have a moment, quick word from Ryan Kelly.
Scratched again.
Game needs a little work, Danny.
You know who will never put you behind the 8 ball?
Ryan Kelly, the HomeLoanExpert.com.
Well, the Cardinals have struck out 5 times against Lodolo, and the first here against Hoffman, and lead this ball game 5-1. Tommy Edman is 2 for 2 now, hitting from the other side of the plate. And the 0-1 pitch. Last 5 games, Tommy is 8 for 21. 3 doubles, 5 runs scored. Numbers bear it out. He scores, the Cardinals win.
Yeah, you need him. You really do. You need him to be able to set the table. You know what you've got behind him with Goldie, generally Arenado in there. You need somebody that gets on.
Way inside, and it's a count of 2-1. Cardinals will face the right-hander Graham Ashcraft tomorrow. He's 4-2.
Rolling out 3 rookies. It's Green. It was Lodolo today. Ashcraft tomorrow.
And a swing and a miss.
Makes you kind of wonder what the Reds are going to be rolling out after the trade deadline. Many speculate. I pretty much believe for sure Luis Castillo will be traded somewhere, and they should get a haul for him. Probably the best available starting pitcher when you're thinking about the trade deadline in the market.
I gotta wonder Does Joey Votto want to finish his career with the Reds?
It's a great question.
You know, I think he does. It said that in the past, but it takes two to tango. You know, I mean, a team has got to want a guy like Joey Votto. What would he do in a pennant race? You know, be re-energized, so to speak. And the 3-2, and he can dictate, you know, whether or not he wants to be traded. So that's something to think about. But if you packaged one of your big guys and said, if you're the Reds, we get to shed some payroll, we get to give Joey Votto a chance to win, is that something he wants?
Yeah, everything, to your point, everything that he said is he wants to be a Red forever, but do you want an opportunity to win? He's been through the ups and downs. He's been through the rebuilding over there. Now, as you mentioned, this year has not gone exactly as planned for Joey Votto. This is a guy that last year changed his swing. He hit 36 home runs. He drove in 99. Different conversation maybe of teams wanting to acquire him, if in fact it looked like last year. But I like seeing players like that being able to win on their way out.
I'm with you on that one. And then on the other side, I love the idea of a franchise player staying with that franchise fan base, city, an entire career too.
Well, at the hope is when you're winning on your way out, it can be in the same place instead of having to go through all of the different teardowns.
So one out, runner at first, and that's taken high. Carlson today is 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. I mean, that's one way you could do it. Now, again, he controls it. But you could say, okay, if you want Castillo, you got to take the contract left and the money left with Votto.
Yeah, and the money left with Votto, he's making $25 million, I believe it is this year, $25 next year also. There's a club option for 2024 that would not be exercised, you wouldn't believe. There is a $7 million buyout with that. So, I mean, you're on the hook for another $32 million after this year's money.
And so you're talking about the remainder a couple of months, you know, almost $40 million. A
lot.
Yep. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Dylan Carlson. The names that are out there, I would think Castillo is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, for any contending team.
For sure. Look, the other name, Frankie Montas, his name has been thrown out there a bit. Actually, they have another one in Malley.
Sure.
Who, you know, people are interested in, and they're expecting him to be back and healthy after the All-Star break.
He'll have to prove that he's healthy.
Yeah. Noah Syndergaard is another name, making some good money, but on a one-year deal with the Angels.
2-1 the count with one out and a runner at first, and the Cardinals leading this ball game 5 hits, 5-1. Tommy Edman with a stolen base back in the first inning, is 20th of the year. So if you look at the 33 combined starts this year, Reds rookie starters Green, Lodolo, Ashcraft, they're 9-15, ERA above 5. All three made their major league debuts this year. And if you're David Bell, you walk a fine line, Brad, because you want to win, but you want to make sure the guys don't get beat up when they're young.
Yep.
You want to get the experience.
You also know you're going to have some sort of limitations.
Great jump by Edman. He's off to the races, and he will score. Running on the pitch, Carlson to second. Dylan on his way to third with a triple. 6-1 Cardinals.
That right there was a thing of beauty. Tommy Edman could have walked home with the jump that he ended up getting. Dylan Carlson hooks this changeup right down the line. It's down and in, just gets the head to it, and then he's off. We're talking about it early, Dan. Dylan Carlson has been heating up here recently. You know how good he's been against lefties. Great to see him do that against the righty.
Here's Goldie, who is homered. And a breaking ball taken high. The infield in for the Reds, down 6-1. It was home run number 300 for Paul Goldschmidt. 91 of the 300 hit as a member of the Cardinals. I bet Goldie would tell you that hitting in this ballpark as opposed to hitting in Arizona, different story.
Just a little bit. Now, fortunately, within the division, there are some hitter-friendly ballparks. Cincinnati, Chicago can be very friendly. Milwaukee. I mean, a lot of players say Milwaukee is one of the best places to hit with the backdrop they have.
And when they open up the roof and the paneling, ball just jumps out of there. Goldie with number 300. And Paul Goldschmidt delivering our T-Mobile coverage of the game with the T-Mobile coverage cam. 40th big leaguer with 300 homers and 140 stolen bases. Only 40 have done it. That's in the dirt, kept in front by Stevenson with a runner down at third. Dylan Carlson. Fly ball. This ball may drop into shallow right, and it will. Scoring easily will be Dylan Carlson. And Goldie has brought in 3 of the 7 today for the Cardinals.
Definitely did not think, Dan, off the bat that this one was going to be able to find some grass, but Naquin is playing deep in right. It just is not able to get to this thing. He's looking over at Joey Votto, say, hey, you got it? That was in a no-man's zone right there.
That was 5.7 seconds in the air. Naquin playing deep, and remember Votto playing in. So it drops in for a base hit. And Paul Goldschmidt has now driven in 70. There's Albert Pujols, 2 runs scored today.
Dan, you remember how long it was for a Cardinal to drive in 100 runs. It had been, Nolan did it last year, ended up driving in 105. Before that, it was Matt Holliday in 2012 was the last Cardinal to drive in 100 or more. Well on his way here with 70 is Goldie.
And the 0-1. Albert, a line shot to left and caught. I don't know about you, but the last 2 weeks, I don't care if it's a lefty or a righty. I want to see Albert in the lineup.
That's why he's been there, right? He's been taking some of the better at-bats on the team. This ball is scorched here to left field. 108 mile-an-hour off the bat. He's going to keep being in there.
Here's Tyler O'Neill with the runner at first base, Paul Goldschmidt. O'Neill today has walked and was hit by a pitch. Lodolo 2 innings, 5 runs on 5 hits, struck out 5, walked 3, hit 3, and gave up a home run. And it's Hoffman here in the Cardinals half of the third. And the 1-0 pitch did not go. 2 balls, no strikes. And a check on Goldschmidt with a count of 2 balls, no strikes on Tyler O'Neill. The 2-0 fouled back, and it's 2-1. Hits softly to second, and a force play. Cardinals, though, add to their lead. 2 in the first, 3 in the second, 2 more here in the third. It adds up to a 7-1 lead. Action begins. T-Mobile Home Run Derby on ESPN July 18th. It's at 7 Central. Then the All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 19th on Fox, and coverage begins at 6 Central. Albert headed to the Midsummer Classic and the Home Run Derby. My only concern for Albert is getting too tired, because those guys get worn out in the Home Run Derby. If not, my money's on Albert.
He's the machine.
Yeah, but the machine's getting older.
Okay, well, he'll be fine.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Boy, 3 minutes is a lot of swinging, isn't it? Now, you do get a 45-second break. I think that's going to be one of the biggest keys, is where you take your break in between.
Now, KT, who is one of our bullpen catchers and a coach, and he'll throw BP all the time and does all kinds of different duties with the coaching staff. He is going to be the one throwing BP, if you will, to Albert Pujols. And I can tell you, we get to the ballpark early. Albert still puts on a show, but that's in BP, so a little bit more pressure.
I think he thrives off of pressure, though. We've seen him.
Yeah. And the 0-2. Lined and caught. It's short by Sosa. Takes a hit away from Kyle Farmer.
Well, nice job by Sosa. Times this jump correctly. Catches it at the top of his leap. Yeah, when it comes to Albert, Dan, in the Home Run Derby, I'm excited for the game of baseball to get to showcase him for one final time in an event like that. He'll put on a show.
And, you know, he's going back to his other home, which is L.A. Angels and Dodgers, so there's going to be, I'm sure, a massive ovation for Albert Pujols. And we saw with the Dodgers here, this homestand, they travel well. Their fan base always travels, and they were all lined up behind the visitors' dugout. And even when Albert, this is popped up, long way to go. Sosa overran it. You can see, looking into the sun, and probably no idea where it was, even with the glasses on, but overran it by a good 5 feet.
Yeah, I'm not sure the sun was an issue until he was past the baseball. Hustled. Just never got a beat on it.
The shift on. You know, I was going to say, though, but their fan base, even when Albert hit a home run against the Dodgers, they're up and applauding for Albert Pujols. So you know the ovation is going to be big for him in L.A.
Yeah, look, you don't have to be a Dodger, Angel, or Cardinal fan to appreciate one of the best who have ever played the game, too. So that's what the All-Star Game should be, and is a celebration of the game. It's those that have, you know, earned the right to be on the All-Star team, breakout players, and a celebration of some of the history.
1-2 on Votto. Struck out looking in the first inning. I appreciate what Albert Pujols did last night with the issue with Genesis Cabrera. He was the first guy in that dugout right over to him to talk about the issue. Now, you know that, and if you missed it, Genesis was on the mound. He was frustrated, slammed the ball down, and started to walk off before Ali even basically got there. And Ali had to hold him up, say, we don't do that. The 2-2 lined and caught again. Sosa. And my understanding is Cabrera has apologized to Ali and to teammates. And Ali said, no, sir, we don't do that. That is a no-no.
You can, and you make mistakes, you learn from them, but it takes a veteran sometimes to really break it down for you. Albert Pujols, one of the most respected players in the game, talking through it with Genesis Cabrera. He'll learn from it.
And a grounder foul. There's a closed door conversation with Ali and Cabrera. And let's be honest, I mean, he knows he messed up. You can't do it.
Big time.
But it's got to be addressed, and it was, so you move on.
Well, and that's just another example there of that residual value of Albert Pujols, isn't it?
Yes. would we go to the visiting ballparks and see BP even before the fans are let in the gates and Albert might be on the field kind of hanging around the dugout, all the players gravitate to visit with him, ask him questions, just to talk, maybe get something signed, whatever.
Wouldn't you?
Yes. I'm a fan, and I watch him closer than maybe any other player on the field. Just his mannerisms, little things that he does. I still enjoy it. It's been fun to see him back in St. Louis.
Well, and as we've talked about plenty today and throughout the year, he's happy to be here.
Yep.
He's so happy.
And the 1-2. A strikeout for Miles, number 4 today. And coming up for St. Louis, Brendan Donovan, Edmundo Sosa, Lars Nootbaar. Strikeout number 4 for Michaelis. 7-1. This season, the Cardinals Bally Sports Midwest teaming up to recognize people and places pitching in to make a difference in our community. And today we salute a lifelong Cardinals fan, Chief Master Sergeant Regina Brewer, retiring at the highest enlisted rank from the United States Air Force after 38 years. Thank you, Regina, for pitching in. And thank you for your service. And the new pitcher in is Ryan Hendricks. Seen him as a starter and a reliever for the Cincinnati Reds after the 3rd inning by Hoffman, 2 by Lodolo.
Well, Ryan Hendricks just called up today. They put Moretta on the IL, so jumping right into action.
And a strike to Brendan Donovan. Cardinals with 7 hits today, and they've scored 7 runs, and they lead it 7-1 after falling behind after the first batter of the game. It was a home run hit by India. And after that, Michaelis is settled in. He's retired 8 in a row. And the 0-2 pitch to Donovan, who's been on base twice. Put in play, chopped up the middle. That's a heck of a play there by Jonathan India on the backhand, sliding for it and making the play.
Another play right here by India where he makes this look a little bit easier than he is. That slide is what enables him to stop, pop up, and make the throw. If he continues to try to run through that, that's going to be a difficult throw, and he's not going to be able to get Donovan there.
There's Sosa, hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. Infield hit, and he's brought in 2. His first multi-RBI game of the year, and the last was September 19th of 21. Hendricks 25 games at Louisville, and he was 1-0 with an ERA just above 4. The 2-0 pitch to Sosa. 3-0 with 1 out and nobody on. First time Sosa's come up with no runners on base. First 2 had the bases loaded. And draws a walk. It's the 5th walk the Cardinals have received in this ball game. All Sunday, starting 2 hours prior to every home game. You get games, prizes, free North Star frozen treats in the Ford Plaza presented by Prairie Farms for the kids, and that'll be tomorrow. Hoffman, the inning of work in the 3rd. 2 runs on 2 hits, struck out 1, walked a man. After the 2 innings, 5 runs on 5 hits by Lodolo. Here's Nootbaar, 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts.
Dan, it's very obvious the Reds, they're going through a rebuild right now, and there are going to be some struggles when you go through that. Ryan Hendricks, pitcher, was on the opening day roster. He was one of 9 guys on the opening day roster that had less than a year of service time. You're going to take your lumps when you have that many young players.
And the fact is, too, they slashed their payroll.
Oh, yeah.
And you think about Eugenio Suarez being one of the major pieces going to Seattle.
Winker with him.
Jesse Winker.
Sonny Gray to the Twins.
Runner goes, and Sosa is in there with a stolen base, his 3rd of the year. You let Castellanos walk.
Wade Miley's another one. I mean, let Wade Miley go. Good jump right here by Sosa, continuing to apply the pressure.
And a 2-1 pitch to Newt Barr with a shift on the right side. Popped it up. Farmer with the catch, and on number 2. And the bat will be Kisner, 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Cardinals will have 95 games in the books after tomorrow. So really a stretch run that is just over 2 months, but man, it's a race to the finish.
It's going to be a sprint. It's going to be an entertaining one. I mean, it's Cardinals and Brewers in the division. No one else is going to be sniffing it, but these two teams are pretty evenly matched and do it in different ways. We've talked a lot about that 1-2 punch that the Brewers have in their rotation. They've got Woodruff back. He's throwing the ball well. You know how good Corbin Burns is. That back end of the pen with Devin Williams and Hader has been really good the last couple of years. We mentioned earlier, though, Hader ran into the issues yesterday. 3 home runs he gave up in the 9th, including a Yastrzemski grand slam that ended up being the game winner.
And a fly ball into shallow right field. And Naquin over to make the catch. We head to the 5th. 7-1.
Here with you as we watch Miles Mikolas warm up in the 5th, getting the run support that he deserves. He's also been excellent this season. 2 earned runs or fewer in 6 of his last 7 starts. Ali Marmol, calling Mikolas an all-star snub today, said he's a guy who deserves to go. He goes toe-to-toe with every ace that we face. I would have liked to see him get that honor. I know, guys, we would have liked to see that as well. In terms of the guys who are going, it's going to be a bit of a modest fashion show on the red carpet. Goldie said his wife picked out his suit, said if it were up to him to dress himself, it wouldn't be pretty, but he's excited to soak in the memories with his family. Ryan Helsley, he's also going to be rocking something pretty simple, but he will wear his Rolex that he bought himself at the beginning of the season. Gold with the green face, the day date, to add a little flair.
I think if it was Goldie, he'd show up in a sweatsuit.
You think so?
Yeah. That's just the way he rolls.
I would love it to see Goldie just show up and it's just flash, like bright color, something neon.
Blinged out.
Oh, of course, blinged out.
Just
maybe some spikes on the shoes or something.
Totally opposite of what you might expect.
That's correct.
Hit up the middle, barehanded. Nice play, Sosa, to get Solano. Said a lot of English on it too.
Yes, it did. And this is as solid as your middle infield really is going to be. Tommy Edmonds moving over to second base right now with Sosa playing short. I mean, when you got Miles Mikolas on the mound, he gets a lot of ground balls. You love to have this combo. That's the only way you're making that play too. If you tried the glove, you know, and the transfer, you're not going to be able to get him.
So that is 9 in a row sent down by Miles Mikolas. And a pitch high to Tyler Naquin. 0 for 1, grounded into a fielder's choice.
Well, starting out Naquin 2-0, but Miles Michaelis in this game has been pumping strikes over a 70% clip. You knew that coming in, that he was aggressive, and he's been so.
Chased a ball, and it's 2-1. Evens it up. A shift on the right side. I got a big day coming up. I'm looking forward to in the second half.
What do you got, Dan?
Well, David Freese coming back to town. Part of our speaker series here at the ballpark. 3-2 pitch, and he lost him. So 9 in a row ends with a walk. So that's an off night for the club. It's Monday, August 15th here at the ballpark. Gates will open at 5, at roughly 5. And I'll do a Q&A with David, but this is pretty cool. You get the reception in the Cardinals club on the warning track as well. Full bar, dinner buffet. They're going to have a museum exhibit with some of the artifacts from the 2011 World Series. And we'll be outside. We're going to do this in the green seats. It's very limited, so making sure that we're being as safe as we can. We'll be outdoors. And everybody leaves with an autographed photo of David Freese. And these are really, really special nights. So David will be back in town, and you can find more at Cardinals.com. But that's Monday, August 15th.
The cool thing about those speaker series, Dan, and I know you MC pretty much all of those things, is you get to hear stories that you've never heard before. Get a little insight that you didn't have before.
I actually have recorded a bunch of them, and I'm so thankful that I have. I've not
candidly, or
broadcast. I've not put them on any radio or anything like that, but a lot of it I've used as reference points of stories I've never ever heard, especially with Lou and Bob Gibson and Red. We've had Ozzie, Willie, Keith Hernandez, and Ted Simmons, Joe Torre, Whitey. I mean, this was a program I began probably 5 or 6 years ago. And the first one that we put on sale was with Gibby during an All-Star break. It sold out in less than 24 hours. So we did a second night that sold out. But the amazing thing is there is a connection to these players that maybe they don't even realize. So, for instance, with Bob Gibson, we had, I think it was something like 24, 25 states were covered of people coming from out of town because they wanted to take their parent.
Really?
Yes, to the event. And, you know, Gibby was their favorite player or whatever. Same thing with Lou. People from Canada were coming in. So David Freese, and I've done some Q&As with him. He is an open book. I mean, about on and off the field.
Yeah.
And so it gets really, really deep into what, you know, that World Series was like and that moment and how it changed his life both on and off the field. I mean, it's really, really fun to do.
I'm guessing one of the changes for David Freese as he comes back to St. Louis is he never has to bring his wallet.
Ever. And that's chopped foul. David was in. I emceed the John Jay event last weekend. He was in, and he told the Cardinals, give me about a year and a half when I'm done. He said, but I'll let you know when I'm ready. If and when I'm ready to be part of the family, so to speak. And he called up Joe Pfeiffer and said, who runs the alumni with Larry State, and said, I'm ready to go. You know, I'm very happy with my playing career. I don't have any more aspirations to play. I wanted to be away from the game for a while. Now I am. And he said, what I find, though, is that I find myself watching the Cardinals nonstop. And he played with, as you know, the Pirates, and, you know, was in the system with San Diego. He played with the Dodgers. He said, but this is my team. It's my hometown team, and my best moment was, the best years were with the Cardinals, so I'm always going to be a Cardinal. And so he's in and out of town all the time with different events that the Cardinals set up. And that's hit out of play. But if you're a Cardinal fan, I really do. I highly encourage that you either take your clients or your family or just come out because you're a fan of the Cardinals and David Freese. It'll be something like you've never seen before.
Dan, can I be one of your clients?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Why don't you come on out?
All right, good.
I'd love to have you.
This is on you.
It's on me.
Green seats.
Yes, sir. We're going to, well, you've got 8 of them, but we'll make sure we'll get you into a different view. That's just off the plate.
Please stop spreading those lies.
It's not a lie. I mean, Brad does have 8 green seats, and if you need those, just reach out to Brad on social media. I'll be happy to help you out.
Thanks again for that. I also appreciate you revisiting the fact that I haven't watched Hoosiers. I've certainly got a lot of messages about that as well.
Did that with the troops last night.
Yeah, sure did.
And that's it out of play. And a nice play made by a fan, barehanded, reaching over the railing with a Adam Wainwright jersey. Nicely done. But again, just go to the Cardinals website or just Google it, David Freese Speaker Series, and we'll hopefully see you on Monday, August 15th here at the ballpark. The Memphis Mafia now, they're all addicted to golf.
It's not a bad way to spend their time.
No. They all have the text chain going, talking trash, and they get together and play a ton of golf. Descalso, Craig, Freese, some of the others, Jay. This will be the 11th pitch of the at bat coming up to Nick Senzel.
Just got my first green seat request. Thanks, Dan.
No problem. I'm sure you're happy to accommodate.
Anytime.
The 2-2 really slowed down there. But they must be paying you well to get those 8 green seats for any game you want.
Just happy to be here sitting in this seat, Dan.
Mm-hmm. The Thompson Special down there is what we call it.
Is that what you call it?
Here's a 3-2. We'll have another pitch. They're going to call catcher's interference, and this happens all the time with Senzel. That's the 7th time this season, 13 times in his career he's reached first base on catcher's interference. In the expansion era, so since 1961, that is second in Reds history behind Pete Rose. He got it 19 times. And already 13 in the young career of Nick Senzel.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just a little bit longer swing in the back. That is something, though, with those numbers there. You have to know that as a catcher. You got to make sure you're staying back. This is the first time in the game here as we sit in the 5th inning that there's been more than one runner on base. As you mentioned, Miles Michael has been cruising through this one. He'd love a ground ball right here from Stuart Fairchild.
So 1 out and a grounder foul. This is where Miles has been very tough here in the first half. Average against him with runners in scoring position is 162. That long at bat got the pitch count near 80 for Michaelis as we play here in the 5th inning of a 7-1 Cardinal lead. Off the plate, and it's a ball and a strike. And the next back to Michaelis out there. Double play. 1 for 3 on the double play. Midway through 5, and the Birds on top. Bottom of 5 rolls in a 7-1 St. Louis lead. Second inning for Hendricks. Cardinals held scoreless only time in the 4th inning. Edman has singled twice and walked and scored 3 of the 7 runs. Paul Goldschmidt with home run number 300 hit today. Albert Pujols is now tied with Gehrig in runs scored.
Let that sink in for a second.
It's incredible.
Tied with Lou Gehrig for runs scored. Yeah, you're seeing something special.
Yep. And the first pitch to Tommy is taken for a strike.
That's the cool part about this season. Obviously, Albert Pujols, all of these different things, these milestones, these charts that he's climbing up. But it's not just about those numbers. It's about the fact that he's on a team that has aspirations, trying to win this division and go on a run. And that's why this second half, to your point, is going to be really exciting here, as it is a sprint to the finish. You got the All-Star break coming up. The trade deadline is going to be right behind it. What does this team look like after the trade deadline?
0-2 the count on Edman. Mentioned it earlier. When Tommy scores a run, the team wins. They're 29-15 when he scores. 2 or more runs, 12-1. 3 times the Cardinals, or if he scores 3 times, they're 4-0. And he has scored 3 times today. And a strikeout of Edman. Let's say hello again to Alexa Dad. What do you have, Alexa?
Dan, I spoke with Dylan Carlson earlier today, and we talked about his offensive success as of late and how he was able to be so successful. He said, listen, I look at other pitchers' tendencies, the shape of their pitches, talking about those 3 walks last night. Said it's about understanding the situations, right? I got Goldie hitting behind me. I got to get on base. That's so important. But his game has evolved so much since being drafted. And with the draft coming up, we reminisced on those memories, how nerve-wracking it was for him, how much pressure there was. But it was a big sigh of relief. He said it was a great experience for me, and he hopes everyone that's going to be drafted enjoys it. It's something that you'll remember forever. That roller coaster of emotions kind of reminded me of the final out last night, where Brendan Donovan and Nolan Gorman both said that they held their breath. Carlson said, I caught it with just enough room, then I was able to breathe again.
They weren't the only ones holding their breath, I can tell you that. That's good stuff. And I like what Alexa reported there, because you do have to understand the situation. When you have Goldie Arenado behind you, you're going to get more pitches to hit than if you're hitting 7, 8, or 9.
Got to be ready. Yeah, you got to be ready. And I know that there are advanced numbers on everybody, and there's a scouting report on every single player.
The high fly ball lifted out to deep left field. That'll stay in the ballpark, and the catch is made.
But things do change, right? Things do change with the guy that's behind you, because you might find yourself in a spot where you're trying to attack him with pitches that you think are good, but then you fall behind, say, forget that. I'm just going with the heater. You got to be ready for it. But I like what he was talking about there.
Home run number 300 earlier for Goldie. 2-run shot back in the second off Lodolo. He's also mixed in a bloop base hit to right, and he's driven in 3 today. Draft day for you, what round?
16th. It's where most of the stars come from.
Absolutely they do. Hidden gems.
Sure.
Now, did you know, number 1, did you know you're going to be drafted? And 2, did you have an idea what rounds it may be?
I had an idea I was going to be drafted. I really thought, though, honestly, I thought it was going to be by the White Sox. There was a White Sox scout that I had spoke to a bit, and they seemed interested. I really thought it was going to be by them. And somewhere, 10 to 12, somewhere around that round, those rounds came and went. And so did my career.
To the big leagues.
Not bad.
The starter for the Cardinals, Miles Mikolas, just 2 hits allowed through 5. He has struck out 4. He's walked 1. The first man of the game was Jonathan India, and he had a 7-pitch at bat, and on a 2-2 pitch popped a home run, and that has been just about it.
Yeah, he hung that slider to India and hasn't hung too many things since then. Just going right after the opposition. Again, credit this offense for continuing to pour on and give him a little bit of leeway here, but the 5 innings so far have been good for Miles.
We were talking about the draft, and this is Stuart Fairchild, and Matt Holliday was put on the video board. He'll be the featured speaker coming up, and his son will maybe be the first overall pick, too, but definitely a top pick coming up.
Yeah, it's an exciting time for the Holliday family.
India again out to deep left field, and the catch made though by O'Neill near the wall.
I know Matt has talked about with his son Jackson, his son Ethan, is a couple of years beforehand, a couple of years younger, just working out with them and teaching them the game. And you think about the career that Matt has had and the great parents him and Leslie are. It's exciting times.
You know, I was listening to Alexa do the report, and I'm thinking, okay, there's anxious times for the player, no doubt, but for mom and dad,
oh, big time,
man. Coaches, nervousness. Popped up. Albert is there. And while we have a moment, quick word from a Great Southern Bank.
Choices are never a bad thing, especially when they all look so good. Go ahead, take your time, and find the account that's perfect for you at GreatSouthernBank.com.
This is what Miles needs, a quick inning. Keep that pitch count very reasonable at 83 right now.
Yeah, for sure. Get another one out of him. Yeah, so certainly excited for the Holliday family. Excited for all the kids who are going to get the opportunity to play at the next level. And for Randy Flores and company, Randy has done a fantastic job leading up these drafts over the years. We've seen the fruits of their drafts already here in the big leagues over the last few years.
And that's hit out of play. Yeah, Randy's done a really nice job. He's got now 7 players that he drafted in the top 100 of prospects.
Yeah, a lot of young, talented players that, again, are already here or knocking on the door.
And a ground ball hit to short. Sosa, 6-pitch inning in the 6th. And Albert coming up when we come back. By Ford, the official car and truck of the Cardinals. Only St. Louis Children's, Missouri's #1 pediatric hospital, and by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Rayvar San Martin is the new pitcher, and the 4th used by the Reds today. 7-1 here in the bottom of the 6th, and so Chevy called to the pen, and Albert Pujols gets to face a lefty here. All-State mayhem moment, and Albert Pujols having a little fun. Like to see that, the smiles right now.
We've seen the smiles. Some little dance moves in there too. He's shaking it a little bit.
There you go.
Go ahead, get some, Albert.
And the first pitch is strike. Pujols has walked and scored, singled and scored, and lined out to left. No balls and 2 strikes. Lodolo, 2 innings. The starter, Hoffman 1. Hendricks 2 scoreless, and now San Martin. Put in play by Pujols. San Martin to the bag and the out. So the first out here in the home half of the 6th. Yankees weekend is coming up August 5th through the 7th. First time these two historic franchises have met since 14, and great seats remain. They're available for you at just $15. Cardinals Yankees tickets now at Cardinals.com. Matt Reynolds, by the way, is taken over at short for Farmer. That pitch inside. He'll bat third.
A Yankees series got a chance to be a lot of fun. I mean, that team is a juggernaut.
Popped up. Battling the sun. It's India, and it drops. And O'Neill is at first. Wish I could say he was at second.
Yeah, agree with that. And they wish they could say this ball's caught because it should be. I mean, there have been a couple of fly balls out to right field that have just found grass that have no business finding grass. But that's the difference, right? We watch plays like this with the Cardinals defense. They're caught. Somebody's got to be there.
So O'Neill on base for the third time. Walk, hit by pitch, and then the single. Here's Donovan. Had a bases loaded walk. It was hit by a pitch and grounded out. Back of the fourth, he was the first batter that Hendricks saw. 7-1 our score. I will say, though, that O'Neill is coming off the hamstring issue, so I'm sure they've been telling him be cautious on what you would think would be a routine catch or play.
You want to make sure you keep him healthy.
Here's the 0-2 pitch to Donovan. And here we go again. 2 strikes.
We spoil a couple. You're going to end up making a mistake after I run you to a full count.
That's right.
And then I'm going to get a base hit. I've read this book.
No, we've seen it too a lot.
The book's better.
Is that right?
That's what people say.
No kidding.
Oh, the book's better. I hate that. I've seen the movie. Oh, you should read the book.
Apparently you don't see enough movies.
Okay, one movie. It's one movie I haven't seen.
Out of spite now, you will not watch it. The 0-2. And Donovan lifts a fly ball out to center field. Senzel with the catch. And that's out number 2.
You're not getting a whole all-star break, Dan.
Are you going to do it? You going to watch it?
Maybe. I'm doing some traveling.
Perfect time to do it. Download it.
Traveling with kids, though.
Yeah. Get them on a cartoon or something, and you watch Hoosiers.
Maybe I'll sit them next to Mom on the plane.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Maybe I'll find myself a spot.
She'll love that. You
Mom's
go ahead.
The best.
You just go ahead and upgrade to first class. That's the kind of guy you are.
Well, and the thought process there would be, sweetie, there aren't 3 seats in a row here. It's only 2. They're larger.
But you can put them across the aisle, though.
Oh, man, that's tough. Don't want to split everybody up.
They're about 3 feet away.
Feels bigger than that, the gap. You know?
No, not it really isn't, Brad. And maybe you should take care of your family and make it a comfortable trip for you and Mama.
Let's just see what happens. We'll all get there at the same time, whether I'm at the front of the plane or they are. You know. There would be no chance that would fly.
Could you imagine?
No, they're walking by because I got to board first. See you guys back there. Here's some peanuts. We already got served up here. Hope you got your voucher.
Lined out to right off the bat of Sosa, and the catch is made. It's nothing like doing a game with the caring father that he is, Brad Thompson. Juan Yepez, Missouri native, debuts at Busch, and we relive the top moments from the first half of the season. It's Cardinals Insider that kicks off coverage tomorrow noon here on Valley Sports Midwest. All right, Brad. So Michael is pitching into the 7th. Had the quick 6-pitch 6th inning. That certainly helped. And he'll have Votto, Stevenson, and Solano.
Yeah, no surprise to see Miles Michael is still out there. We showed you before the game his last 7 starts, averaging 6 1/3. I mean, this guy's getting deeper and deeper into games.
The reason we have a little bit of a delay, our home plate umpire Mark Wagner was getting ice.
It's hot back there, man.
He's getting ice on the back of the neck to cool things down.
Wearing all that gear. They don't get the in-between innings to go sit down.
And Votto on the first pitch, a base hit into right.
Well, hanging breaking ball, nothing another ground ball double play can't fix.
And don't forget about the umpires on these hot days, and it is hot. Cardinals have turned a double play. That was in the 5th, and that's 94 on the ground. That's the most in baseball, 14 ahead of Colorado.
10 straight games with a double play.
And Tyler Stevenson has grounded out to second and struck out looking. A ball and a strike. Cardinals have turned 14 ground ball double plays in the last 16 games this month, including the 10 in a row that Brad spoke of. And the 1-1. How about another one? Glove by Donovan. The turn, double play. Donovan, Edman, Albert. 5-4-3 on the double play. While we have a moment, quick word from Tickets for Less.
Tickets for Less. For a better ticketing experience. Best seats, best prices, and no surprises at checkout.
And that pitch taken outside. Donovan, Solano. Alexa is efforting to visit with Matt Holliday. Hopefully before this game is through. Looking forward to hearing from Matt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Most ground ball double plays before the All-Star break in franchise history. 1974 they turned 97, and this year 95. 13 was a year in which they had 93, and in 05 92. So still a shot to tie it or break it.
I like the chances. Well, the Cardinals, you knew this coming in about their pitching staff. They weren't going to strike out a lot of people, and that has come to fruition. They've got the lowest opponent whiff rate in all of baseball. Don't get a ton of swing and miss. They get the 2nd lowest chase rate, but they have the 2nd highest ground ball rate, and they have a great defense behind them. Only team that gets more ground balls is the Giants.
And a ground ball again, ranging to his left. Donovan, throw up the line. The tag there by Albert. Nicely done. Time to stretch on a hot day here at Busch. It's not to be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cardinals. Goldie is hit number 300 here today. And the Cardinals here in the bottom of the 7th lead it 7-1. And the new pitcher is Alexis Diaz after a scoreless inning by San Martin. Chevy called to the pen. The amazing thing, in addition to Brad's green seats, 8 for every game, is that Brad also has a residence across the street at 1 Cardinal Way right by the pool.
Is that right?
That's what you were telling me.
It's very nice, I'm sure.
I take a look over there. I can see the folks have gotten ready to take a little dip and then watch the game.
Let's watch my friends up there and let them in.
Yeah, there's Johnny and Steve. You were telling me about those guys. Good buddies of yours.
Good dudes.
And many times on a hot day like today, if you're not in the booth, you're in the green seats and you go to your residence, cool off, and then take a little swim.
Well, it's really nice to be centrally located around your work.
It is.
If you can pull it off. You know what I mean?
The problem is that with your popularity, it's very tough for you to walk from here over there without being accosted.
Yeah, well, obviously that's why I have the security team.
And a golf cart.
Yeah, I'm not going to walk.
Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. 3-1 pitch. And another walk issued to the Cardinals, and that is 6 today issued by the Reds. Yeah, why would you walk? You don't need that. It's hot out. Superstars get special treatment.
As you know, Dan, by the way.
Yes, sir.
Thanks to you, I will be sifting through ticket requests for the next hour after the game. There's a lot there. And just as a reminder, I don't have 8 green seats or a residence across the street. Now, I'd love to have both those things, but I'm not the lead play-by-play man.
Well, there's always a chance to negotiate. Little flare into center, base hit. Kisner. You were showing me some of the various requests that you have to re-up your deal next year, and that was in bold print.
Yeah. And crayon.
And an eraser. August 6th is a Saturday. Cardinals and Yankees. 25,000 fans ages 16 and up take home a Joe Torre bobblehead courtesy of Equifax. Cardinals.com/promotions. Well, Diaz, it's his 32nd appearance. He pitched 3 days ago. He's been very tough on the righties. That's only the 7th hit against Diaz from a right-handed batter. Came in batting just 105 against him. The lefty's 164. And now with another walk to make it 6 in this game. Reds pitching has walked 5 or more in 36 games this year.
It's tough to win. As we talked about, this is a team that had so much turnover, relying on so many young pitchers.
And a grounder scooped up by Votto, and Edman with his speed, no turn, runners at the corners. I think the Cardinals may challenge as to whether or not he's on the bag. We'll see what they want to do here. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. They're going to challenge. And I thought that too is very curious as to whether or not the foot just grazed the bag.
St. Louis is challenging the out call at second base.
Well, you might think to yourself, look, you got a 6-run lead. Why? Well, the why is you get a chance to continue. He is not on that base.
No.
He ends up coming off of that for sure. And that's a very nice catch by the Cardinals.
Oh, yeah, he's off the bag.
Yeah, well worth the challenge on this.
We're going to have the bases loaded again in this game.
know that there's a replay system, but kind of wish that the umpires had the autonomy to just go ahead and call it after they've seen it on the big screen.
Especially if it's a egregious call.
Sure.
Why wait? And you can understand why an umpire would call that out, because 99 out of 100 it is. But more and more we do see this.
How do you think the umpires feel about the replay? Do you think that they like it? At the end of the day, they get the call right one way or the other.
I think ultimately they want the call right.
Yes.
It'd just be tough if you're the guy getting the challenges thrown your way all the time.
Yeah. Well, if you don't like it, get them right.
Yeah.
That is part of it, just like anything else. The one that I'm sure that the umpires don't like is the strike zone that we see on the screen. It is a great visual aid. It's not always a perfect representation, by the way, of the strike zone.
That's true, too.
After the review, the call in the field is overturned. The runner is safe. The bases are loaded, and St. Louis will retain their challenge.
So it's a fielder's choice E3 on the play. That's a tough error on Votto. That'll be his first error of the season. He has won a Gold Glove before in his career. And so the base is loaded now for Carlson. As an RBI triple, and the infield is drawn in. So it's been a walk, a bloop base hit, and it should be first and third, one out. Instead, bases loaded, and the Cardinals have nobody out, and a good chance here for Dylan Carlson. And the 0-1. Nothing in 2. Goldie on deck. Carlson with the bases loaded has a couple of grand slams, a .250 hitter, and the Cardinals 1 for 3 today. 3 runs batted in with the bases loaded. .273 their average in this spot. They have not had a grand slam since Goldie had the walk-off grand slam on May 23rd against the Blue Jays.
Yeah, while this game isn't necessarily a tight one, it's one that you want to see your guys continue to put together relentless at bats. I mean, these are the type of situations where you're going to need to cash in the second half.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. 1-2. Crowd today of 41,014. 41014. And the 1-2 hit up the middle. Force play at the plate, gets through, and a run will score. And here comes, nope, the Cardinals going to keep the bases loaded. Scoring on the play, it's Newt Barr. And a ball that scoots through Tyler Stevenson.
Well, Reynolds has to range up the middle, and that's one Stevenson just missed, just shorted that. That's not on the throw, that's on Stevenson.
Yeah. StatCast powered by Google Cloud, and a 2-run homer for home run number 300 off the bat of Goldie. Just over the wall, may have nicked the glove of Fairchild and left. This is a tough inning. If you're Diaz, the walk is on you, but then you had a bloop base hit and you're thinking, okay. But he got the out off the bat of Tommy Edman. Another out should be there with Dylan Carlson.
Yep, certainly, and that's part of the conversation. You know, is, hey, you did your thing. This isn't on you. Making the call to the bullpen here, but he went out there and did his job.
And the ruling on that play was a fielder's choice E6 on Reynolds, but the ball's got to be caught at the plate.
It's a bad error on him.
First half of the 2022 schedule and get into the All-Star break. Budweiser, what's on tap? Hope you join us at 12:30. Paul Goldschmidt, 7 grand slams in his career. We saw Farmer yesterday. Chevy called to the pen, pitched a third of an inning, walked 2, couple of hits, gave up a run in 18 pitches in game 1 of the series. And the Cardinals trying to extend their 8-1 lead with Goldie up, bases loaded, nobody out.
David Bell's over there just trying to figure out a way to cobble together this ball game. You mentioned it before. Good thing that the break is coming up. You can unload your pen a little bit.
Goldie has driven in 3 on the day. And the first pitch drops in for a strike. Albert Pujols on deck. And Goldie sitting on 997 runs batted in. So in a day in which he gets 300, maybe he gets 1,000.
That's a good day at the office.
I'd say so.
Go ahead and do that.
And the 0-2 struck him out. So Farmer comes in, gets the first out, and now it's Albert with the bases loaded. While we have a moment, quick word from St. Louis Children's.
St. Louis Children's Hospital, the only place where Washington University physicians have gathered from across the globe, discovering and developing life-changing treatments for kids.
Pujols walked and scored, singled and scored, lined out, grounded out. First pitch. Shallow left. Fairchild with the catch. And Albert just missed it. Hit it a mile high. By the way, Albert Pujols with 15 career grand slams. 15. There's Tyler O'Neill. Walked first time up. Hit by a pitch. Grounded into a fielder's choice. And a little bloop single. Sun aided back in the 6th. And Farmer now an out away from making sure no one scores against Diaz. He's responsible for the 3 on base.
Yeah, and Farmer trying to get back from that bad outing he had yesterday.
And the 0-1. It's a ball and a strike. 2 outs, bases loaded for the Cardinals, leading 8-1. One and 2. On a hop to third, backhanded Solano. Nice play. So Farmer comes in, nobody out, bases loaded, gets out of it, no damage done. Matt Holliday with Alexa coming up. 7-time All-Star Matt Holliday headed to the St. Louis Cardinals Hall of Fame. Won a batting title, over 300 home runs, 2,000 plus hits, 4-time Silver Slugger, part of the 11 World Championship Club. Won an MVP, and he's in St. Louis with his wife Leslie and their family. It's Christian Day here at the ballpark, and Alexa is standing by with hole number 7. Alexa.
I am Danny Mac. Thank you. Matt Holliday, welcome back to St. Louis. It's good to see you.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. I always love coming back here and get a chance to catch a game.
Danny Mac just read through your resume, which is incredibly profound. All of the things that you've been able to accomplish in your career. But I know today is a special day for you, Christian Day, because you're going to speak to fans and members of the Cardinals organization about your faith. How much does that mean to you?
Well, I mean, it's the foundation of everything that I believe in that's important, and I'm happy to be here. I know this is the 30th anniversary of Christian Day, and so when the Cardinals asked my wife and I to come back, I was thrilled to say yes, and I got most of my family with me, and so I'm just excited about sharing what my faith in my life has done for me, and get a chance to share some of the Cardinals guys' stories as well.
You excited about your speech?
I am. I told, I think Danny and I talked about this on a recent interview, and I told him I'm not a big speech guy. I've started to work on it a little bit, so it'll be exciting for the speech, and I think I still got a little over a month, so I got some time to work on it.
Well, good luck. You're going to be great. It's a big weekend for you, not only speaking here to Cardinals fans, but then you have your son, who is a top prospect, going in the MLB draft, which starts tomorrow evening. I know that there are a lot of nerves for the family. Who's more nervous? Who's more nerve-wracked, you or Jackson?
Well, I'm pretty comfortable with whatever happens. I think he's probably a little nervous just to find out, because it's such a big sort of, I mean, you know, it decides, you know, whether or not what his next, 10 years looks like maybe in his life, maybe not in that organization for a long time, but I think he's nervous in a good way, that finding out kind of who's going to draft him.
So when you walk through the steps of the draft in terms of how you guys are preparing for the day, I know you want to spend it with the family. How is it all going to go down? Give us a sneak peek behind the curtain.
Yeah, we'll fly back to Stillwater tonight, and then tomorrow there'll be a lot of family and friends that'll come at various points during the day, I think, and we probably will swim because it's supposed to be 110 in Stillwater tomorrow, and but I think it'll be pretty laid back, pretty casual, and then I guess around 5 or 6 o'clock we'll start to gather around to watch the draft and get ready to hopefully be super excited about whoever team picks him, and so I think that's kind of the plan. We'll have food and swimming and a lot of people we like and people to share the moment with.
A well-deserved party for all of his hard work. When you take a look at your son Jackson, let's give the fans who haven't had the opportunity to see him play a scouting report. We know he's a lefty shortstop, but what exactly does he do so well in this game?
Well, I think people would be surprised that he doesn't look much or play much like I did. He's a shortstop. He's a left-hand hitter. He runs really well. He's an exciting player. He plays the game really fast. I think people have compared him, kind of athletically to Bobby Witt Jr., who's made a big impact this year with the Royals. He's a great kid, and he plays the game the right way. He plays with a lot of instincts, obviously growing up around the game and being in the big league clubhouse for a long time. He has great instincts, and just a really good baseball player for a young kid.
I read somewhere when you were going through a hitting slump, you'd go and watch his swing. Is that true?
Well, as a young kid, he had an incredibly fundamentally sound swing, and I always would watch him and think, he's not thinking about it, and that's just kind of the position he's gathering in to try to hit it hard. And so there was times, yes, where I felt very lost, as most baseball hitters have at some point in their career, where they would take advice from just about anybody. But I found myself watching my 3-year-old, hitting off the tee, and I would think, man, that's pretty good. So he's like I said, he's always been very fundamentally sound.
Well, congratulations to you and your family. Good luck tomorrow. You also have a huge weekend coming up. You were inducted into the 2022 Cardinals Hall of Fame. Congratulations on that as well. That ceremony will take place August 27th. What are you looking forward to in terms of donning that red jacket?
Well, obviously, to be part of that fraternity and getting a chance to be here in St. Louis and all the great memories and friends, and to share that experience with friends and family and the people that are already in the Hall of Fame, and it's a great honor. It's something I'm looking forward to, and it's like I said, when you play baseball, you want to play and be a good player, and when somebody gives you a contract like the Cardinals gave me, I wanted to honor that contract, and I wanted to play well, and I wanted to do the right thing. I wanted to give back to the community, and at the end of the day, to be going into the Cardinals Hall of Fame, it's really exciting for me.
Congratulations on that as well. We know we have the All-Star break coming up. You're a 7-time All-Star. You're teammates with Albert Pujols, who will be participating in the festivities this weekend in the Home Run Derby, something that you've done before. Any advice for Albert Pujols?
Well, I'm a little concerned about the new format with a 42-year-old. I know the rapid fire, is a little bit different than when I did it back in the day when you had 10 outs. And I think the last time he did it probably was the same thing. So his new this new format with his. I'm excited to watch. I mean, it's going to be fun. I think you'll probably see him get out of breath a little bit at some point. Would be my scouting report, because I know I would at 42, and I feel like I'm still in pretty good shape. But I think he's really doing a great job of soaking in his last season, and it looks to me like he's really enjoying mentoring the young players, really soaking up every last game and moment, knowing that something that he's done his whole life is about to sort of a chapter that's coming to a close. And I know when I knew it was near the end of my career, there's just this freedom to go out and have a little more fun than maybe when you're trying to establish yourself, or you're trying to live up to a contract. There's some of those things that we fall into sometimes. It looks to me like he's really enjoying what he's doing.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun to watch and to cover. Matt Holliday, congratulations on all of your success from your family, and good luck today at the Christian Day, and as well as tomorrow during the MLB Draft. And we will see you back here in St. Louis August 27th weekend.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited, obviously, for the big weekend, and excited to be here today. So thanks for having me on here.
By the way, before I let you go, you said that Dan McLaughlin and Brad Thompson were in the booth. Anything you want to say to them?
Well, I might go up there and mess with them a little bit. I haven't seen Brad in a while. I probably need to come up and see him. I get to come on the radio show every now and then, so I might need to come up and see him.
They deserve it. Matt, thank you.
All right.
Guys, back to you.
He's the best.
He's awesome. And I was going to say, I'm a little upset that it's been this long in the ball game. He hasn't been up here yet.
I'm a little, be honest with you, and there's a walk and the base is now loaded. I'm a little disappointed in Matt. We were texting back and forth. I said, can Alexa come over and do an interview? He said, of course. He said, can I come back over here? I said, where have you been? Of course you can. I mean, this is his booth too. Let him come on up.
One of the best ever. So Matt, it's very apparent over the years with Matt what he meant to this organization. Going to be a Cardinal Hall of Famer. I was only teammates with Matt Holliday for a half a year. He got traded over in 09. I feel like I played with him for a decade. I mean, that's just kind of how he makes you feel as a teammate. I'm excited for him, excited for the family. Can't wait. Look, he was talking about tomorrow getting the whole crew together for the draft, all the people they like. I mean, I feel like he likes us, so I can't wait to make our way to Stillwater for the big draft party tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
I think that'll be fun.
In addition to your residence, you also have a private plane. So we'll be going to Stillwater after the ball game. That'd be great. We'll hop in there.
We'll get there one way or another.
Well, McFarland got the ground ball off the bat of Naquin. Good job by Alexa on the interview. It was a walk to Senzel. Fairchild reached on the air. Could have been a inning-ending double play. And then you had the walk to India, and that's going to be it for T.J. McFarland. I think the greatest impact that Matt Holliday made here in town is Homers for Health. And he's helped out so many families and sick and injured kids. And a program that has raised millions of dollars, and it's still going strong today, and that's part of the legacy that he leaves here in St. Louis as a wonderful player. And now finally Ali motions to the pen, and that'll be it for McFarland, and Oviedo coming in with the Cardinals leading 8-1. Made his way to the booth. I see one of the great moments we've had in recent memory here at Busch Stadium. His final Cardinal home run, what we thought at that time would be his final at bat here in St. Louis. Then Matt just screwed the whole thing up and got a base hit the next day.
It happens.
It does, but that's supposed to be the final moment. That's how you go out, and then he gets a base hit the next day.
I think it's okay to get a base hit the next day. I think it's all right. Did he get another at bat? Yes. Did he get a hit? Nailed it.
And he'll be headed into the St. Louis Cardinals Hall of Fame. And so well deserved. So the base is loaded in Johan Oviedo. And the Holiday speaking after the ball game here today, and that pitch is hit out of play. I like the fact that he is watching his 3-year-old to get tips. In the interview with Alexa, Matt says he's watching his 3-year-old to get hitting tips.
Sometimes you have to simplify it, don't you? Every once in a while. Back to the basics.
I guess so. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And a ground ball, base hit. Run will score. And they'll hold up the next runner. And the bases will be loaded as a run scores to make it 8-2. It's a hanging breaking ball and the base hit by Brandon Drury. He drives in his 52nd.
Well, especially in that count. Look, you're 0-2. You want to be able to bury a pitch right there. I think he has the ability to elevate above the zone also.
That scores Senzel. And the batter will be Reynolds. He came in the 6th inning to replace Farmer, and that pitch taken for a strike. And Matt has just sent me a note saying that he'd like to hear you speak at Christian Day too.
Did he not write that speech too?
He better help you out. I know that. And that pitch is off the plate.
I'm happy to help anywhere I can. I think they've got enough speakers today, though.
And it's 0-2. And the next pitch to Matt Reynolds. Bounced, gets away, run will score to the backstop. Will 2-run score? No, they'll stop there at third base. And it becomes an 8-3 St. Louis lead. Fairchild scoring the second run in this inning.
And no need to make this one interesting.
Well, the Cardinals too, Brad, had the bases loaded, nobody out, did not score as Oviedo spikes that one.
So that one right there to me is a direct reflection of the 0-2 pitch that he threw to the last guy. Left it up. This time he said, okay, well, I have to bury it. Have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. You just got to put the pitch in the right location. You don't have to throw it harder. You don't have to make it great.
So runners at second and third. Here's Joey Votto. Votto singled to right back in the 7th. First pitch to him is popped up left side. Sosa giving chase, and watch out. Ooh, he goes hard into the sidewall and he is down. That was full speed going into that sidewall.
Oh, you hate to see this with Sosa. You see him shaking the hand, also hit with the knee.
And Ollie coming out. Cardinals medical team. Chris Conroy is over there to look at Sosa. In an 8-3 game here in the top of the 8th, I was shocked to see him go that hard. Not to say you don't appreciate the effort, but just having an understanding of the situation.
Still, that's the thing with Edmundo Sosa, and I think that's what makes him as good as he is he does that. I mean, in a ball game, doesn't matter what the score is, he's got a beat on it, he's going to go for it.
And remember, Arenado more than likely is held out of today's game. Romine is your backup catcher. Dickerson an outfielder. You could have Nolan Gorman, if need be, come in the game, go to second, and move Tommy Edman to short. And he's slow to get up. So with Votto up, they've got to shift, and that means Sosa a long way to go. This is pretty much full speed. Wow.
He was on a dead sprint this entire way. He takes the glimpse down. He knows where he's at.
It's so slow to get up, but limping a bit with Chris Conroy there on the right, Ollie on the left. And Nolan Gorman has popped out of the St. Louis dugout.
Well, they're going to go in there. They're going to evaluate Sosa, see exactly what's going on. But great to see him walking away from that. You know, when you slam into that sidewall, how much impact is there?
And so Gorman will take over at second base. Edmonds shifts to short. Oviedo getting a couple of warm-up tosses along with Nolan Gorman now at second base. And the count now on Joey Votto is no balls and a strike with 2 outs, runners at second and third. Votto struck out looking on 3 pitches in the first, lined out to short in the fourth, and the first pitch he saw in the seventh was a base hit into right. Base hit here, and all of a sudden it's 8-5. And the 0-1 inside.
Well, we saw this yesterday in the ball game. It was one that the Cardinals had it in hand, and all of a sudden it was the last batter of the game that drives one right to the fence, back up against the wall. Carlson was able to bring that one in. You hope that this one doesn't have that kind of drama in it.
And the 1-1 pitch to Joey Votto. 2 balls and a strike. Been a long day here at the ballpark and a hot afternoon here at Busch Stadium.
It certainly has. Joey Votto is a guy too. I know that the overall numbers aren't there. Still can hurt you, especially down and in.
The 2-1. 2-2. Cardinals in their half of the 8th will have Brendan Donovan, then Gorman and Nootbaar, all lefties coming up. And the Reds used their lone lefty, San Martin. He pitched in the 6th. And the 2-2. Check swing, and he went. It's a strikeout of Joey Votto. They'll strand a pair, pick up a couple. We head to the home half of the 8th. It's 8-3. 8-3 is our score. And again, we thank Matt Holliday for what he's doing with he and his family after the game. And their lead, we're going to give you the play-by-play. There goes the youngest Holliday. Middle is Jackson. The leader is Matt. And then you have the next one. And he's a good player, too.
They're great. Jackson and Ethan, a couple of years apart. Jackson's going to get drafted this year. He's going to be a first-rounder. Wow. A big old signing bonus.
Yeah.
Oh, look at him go. Just talking to him a second ago, too. He just said the process has been fun. He's going out there he's just playing the game. It helps a lot when you've had a dad that has done absolutely everything in the game of baseball and you grew up in it. So the nerves of the draft, like you wonder where you're going to land. You wonder what organization it's going to be and what steps there are along the way. But he's prepared for this, as is Ethan in a couple more years.
I would imagine that if you're 2 or 3, probably signing bonus or sign a contract, roughly what, $6-7 million, something like that.
Something like that. I never had to worry about that.
Well, a 16th round pick, Brad. They knew the possibilities with you as Hunter Strickland is in, and that's why you got the green seats.
That's right. I didn't have to pay them too much to sign me. That's right. I paid them.
Exactly. Just for that shot. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Donovan. So yeah, Lodolo started this game. That was 2 weeks ago. Then Hoffman, Hendricks, San Martin, Diaz. Farmer came in with nobody out, the bases loaded, got out of that jam. And the new pitcher is Hunter Strickland. I forgot how big of a man Mr. Holliday is.
He's a pretty large human.
That's a big dude.
And I think that he's less worried about being in baseball shape now, so he's just lifting more weights.
Yeah, I noticed that.
really, I think that he's just piggybacked off of the program that you and I are on.
He did call us for advice at one point, and I said, look, I don't have time.
Well,
I'm trying to do games.
So look, you're cutting corners right now. I need full extension. You know, you're not going all the way down on some of these curls, and you're only cheating yourself.
Well, then the cat got brought in, and he looked at it. He said, you're not locking it out.
Yeah, you got to lock it out.
That's right. We feel that we extended that career.
I think that every great career, there are building blocks. I feel like we were some of those for Matt Holliday.
Any chance we could, I don't know, get a little piece of the action there, huh?
Look, I'm just here to help him, you know?
Oh, it's all about people for you.
That's right. People helping people. Now, if there's kickbacks along the way, then there's kickbacks along the way.
We're open for business.
Of course we are.
What's the matter with you?
I don't know. Really don't know.
2-2 the count, 8-3 our score. Home half of the 8th. Donovan, base hit into right center. Thinking 2, no, he'll stop right there. Brendan Donovan on base for the 3rd time in this game.
Well, you said it earlier. Donovan was out for a couple of days. He had his illness. He comes back, gets right in the middle of things. This guy's been such an important part of everything that the team is doing this year. It was a guy that very well could have made the team out of spring. He didn't, but he gets recalled. He's bounced all over the field. He's bounced all over the lineup, and he just continues to climb these rookie rankings.
First plate appearance for Gorman, filling in now for Sosa. Hopefully he's okay. Scary moment there, crashing into that sidewall. And Gorman a base hit. Donovan around second on his way to 3rd. Took a peek back, and he'll arrive standing up. Runners at the corners, nobody out for the Cardinals. There's Lars Nootbaar.
Trying to tie him up with that slider. Did get in on him. Just not far enough. Dan, just thinking about the draft and all of the festivities coming up with Jackson Holliday thinking about going early. I mean, how cool would that be, seeing him a member of the Cardinals? Now, he's not going to be sliding, you wouldn't think, till the 22nd pick.
I don't think, from everything I've seen, he does not go as far as.
He got about a handful of picks.
I would imagine he'll either be 1, 2, or 3. That's my guess.
Yeah. So
I think Texas, I believe, has the 3rd pick.
That's correct.
Arizona's 2.
Yep. And Baltimore's number 1.
Yeah.
Pirates are sitting at 4, and the Washington Nationals have the 5th pick in the draft. Cardinals again 22nd.
And the 1-0 pitch. Into deep right. Nootbaar hammers one out of here. Wow. 3-run bomb. Nootbaar. Just sounded good.
That was a tank job by Nootbaar right here. Look at that swing. Noot had a couple of at-bats early. His first 2 at-bats came to the plate with bases loaded. Each time it struck out. You know there was frustration there that he wasn't able to cash in. Well, he cashes in late.
Those aren't boos, it's Noot. 426 feet, 110 off the bat. Hit that high and long. Here's Kisner, and he's hit by the pitch. And that is the 4th Cardinal hit today. Strickland has come in, allowed 3 hits. One of those being the 3-run homer. And here's David Bell.
There'll be a little conversation here with Hunter Strickland and said, dude, you're it. This is all we got here. So I'd like you to be able to get through this.
Well, Sosa was hit, Donovan hit, O'Neill hit, and Kisner hit. It's 4.
Yeah, I think out of the 4, 3 of them were on breaking pitches. I think a couple near the feet. I mean, no intent in any of these pitches, certainly. Nobody actually hit hard. It's easy for me to say from up here.
Hey, by the way, did you face Holiday much?
Yeah, I faced him. Dan.
What kind of answer is that?
I mean, I did, in fact, face Matt. Did he text you?
No.
Look at me. Look at me. Did he text you?
No, he did not.
Okay.
Somebody else did.
What'd they say?
Well, they gave me some stats, and I just wasn't sure if you recalled facing Matt. Going into the Cardinal Hall of Fame. I mean, we talk about him a lot.
I recall at least facing him once.
8 times you guys went head to head.
How'd it go for me?
You got him 5 times. 5 out of the 8.
It's pretty good.
That's right. Odds are in your corner on that one.
And when it comes to batting averages and stuff. But
well, he got a couple of extra base hits off you.
I do recall one of them.
It was a
here.
Home run.
Yeah. It was left center. I'd say probably 11 or so rows deep. Sinker didn't sink.
I guess I was behind the mic on that call. I don't recall that, but
chances are you laughed during it.
No, I did not do that when you were on the mound. You know that, because I knew that guy out there at some point, once those 20 years of big league service time expires, he's going to be up here in the booth with me. So I wouldn't have done that.
I know that's what you were saying.
I remember the Russell Branyan one. That was kind of a center. And the catch made. Kisner tagging up from first base. It was just that one.
The Russell Branyan one?
Yeah.
So the Russell Branyan home run that I gave up, and I don't think we've talked about it too much here, it was at Old Bush, and he did hit it off his face on the Jumbotron out in right center, which was, I think, further than this big screen. It was a blast.
Was I on the call for that?
Yeah, Dan, you were, because that's the aforementioned laugh. You actually laughed during the call. He hit it off his face out there or something.
I kind of remember that one.
That was pretty good. But that's how humbling the game is, because the pitch before that, I came in, there was a runner on first, 1 pitch, ground ball, double play.
You felt pretty good.
I was feeling the flow. I was working it. You know, I was out there strutting around the mound.
Sure.
Next pitch, off his face. And that's why I was like, baseball's tough. This game.
The ups and downs.
This game will get you.
The ebbs and flows.
It'll get you.
But you got a World Series ring.
Was that Matt that texted you?
It wasn't. I promise you it wasn't.
All right, because he's texted me about it before. He's even found video.
Did he?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm going to have to text him on that one.
Don't worry about it.
I'd like to see that highlight. Really just to evaluate the call.
Of course.
Here is Romine pinch hitting here for Paul Goldschmidt. So you put Kisner at first base, and Romine will catch the final inning. Now, you make fun of your career all the time. You had a very good career.
Oh, I'm more proud of it than I let on, Dan.
You should.
Promise you that.
I always say that, there's, 22,000 people that have played in a major league game.
You're not filling the bottom bowl here.
That puts it in perspective. And a grounder to third. Low throw and picked by Votto. Nice pick at first base. That saves a run. in an 11-3 Cardinal lead. Lars Nootbaar with a bomb into right. 11th player of the game, Miles Michaelis, in an afternoon that's featured 12 hits for the Cardinals, 11 runs, but we're talking pitching.
Yeah, rightfully so. Miles Michaelis went out there and did exactly what he was supposed to do. Get you deep in the game, give you a chance to win. Got 10 outs on the ground as well, just filling up the strike zone in his 7 innings.
And the Cardinals will ask Oviedo to get the final 3 outs and send us home. And for Brad, that'll be right across the street at 1 Cardinal Way.
Probably still got some good rays I can catch.
Absolutely.
SPF 100, obviously.
Well, obviously, you have been spending a lot of time at that pool.
What's that supposed to mean, Dan?
Well, you don't have a lot of suntan look to you.
No, this is my tan look. This is it.
Oh. What's the winter like look for you?
I'll wait till I pull the tarp off. You'll see. Look like a polar bear.
Tom Mee just told us that part of your Bally's deal is that you get carried over there by the cameramen and women.
I was told that was a confidential deal.
Apparently not.
Really none of your business.
Well, that's what Tom just told me, and I think I owe it to the fans to tell the truth.
I believe that I've got some sort of a beef with HR because I don't think that anybody should know my contract.
Is that right?
Yeah.
The things you get into the day before the All-Star break. 11-3. Look out.
Hope they brought their fans too. It is hot out today while they're carrying me back.
Some grapes.
I could go for a grape. Frozen, obviously.
Well, the Cardinals hit a bunch today. 4 times, most in a game since 2017. They were hit a franchise record 5 times by the Padres. Out to left. O'Neill with the catch. Nice play. Got a good jump on it. Makes the play. Cardinals have hit a pair of home runs today. And that pitch taken high by Solano. They went with the Reds, Lodolo, Hoffman, Hendricks, San Martin, Diaz, Farmer, and Strickland. Empty the tank.
Still got another one tomorrow.
That's right.
And another rookie on the mound. Graham Ashcraft is going for the Reds.
The swing and a miss. 97 from Johan Oviedo. Cardinals will finish up their longest homestand of the season tomorrow. And then it's the All-Star break. Popped up. And out of play. And so then you have Cincinnati next weekend.
Yes, 6 in a row.
And then you've got an off day. It's kind of one of the oddities. You have all the. It does feel like an eternity when you play every day. And then you get the All-Star break and you're off 4 or 5 days. And then 3 games off day, 2 games off day.
Bookending a Toronto series. Hopefully no delays in travel.
And when will I see you again?
I'm not sure.
Is that right?
I'm not. I got to check the schedule. Probably the Cubs series potentially come back. I don't think that far ahead.
Okay. 3-2 pitch, and he walked him. So the 1 hour walk, and it brings in Tyler Naquin. Cardinals have turned 2 double plays. Naquin is 0 for 2 with a walk. Now we're playing behind the runner at first base. Solano. Lined into the glove of Donovan. Nice play. Blistered down there at third.
Kind of just reiterates the point. Let him hit it. Let him hit it. You got some gloves out there.
Well, good news on Edmundo Sosa. The x-rays on his leg were negative and listed as day-to-day. But then again, aren't we all?
That's prophetic, Dan.
Thank you.
Good news there for Sosa.
And for us.
True.
Here's Max Schrock. Some called up to the Cardinals in 2020. And he pops it up. Donovan racing in. Under it. Has it. Cardinals win the series, and they'll go for a sweep tomorrow. 11-3 the final.
Yeah, nice job by Miles Michaelis today in the ball game. Congratulations to Paul Goldschmidt, who hits home run number 300 as the Cardinals take care of business today against the Reds.
And it's off to the post-game show. Plenty to get into. Historic day for Goldie with that home run, as Brad mentioned. A lot of offense, and Miles was Miles. Cardinals win at 11-3. Look for a sweep tomorrow.